Aristocrat Motors, I-35 and Shawnee Mission Parkway, or shop us online at aristocratmotors.com.
One day only Thanksgiving Day deals are coming to Lowe's.com. Plus, members get early access to online Black Friday doorbuster deals on gifting favorites, like the still trending Cobalt Mini Toolbox for just $14.98. Don't miss up to 50% off for one day only at Lowe's.com. We help, you save. Valid 11/27 only on Lowe's.com. Member only doorbusters and midnight Eastern. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change while supplies last.
Jeff Montgomery here for Miva Medical. Men, if you're dealing with frequent urination, waking up in the middle of the night, or dreading long lines at football games waiting to go to the bathroom, it could be an enlarged prostate. Do what I did and speak with Dr. Brown at Miva Medical. Their non-surgical procedure was quick and easy, a real game changer. Go see Dr. Brown at Miva Medical, the leader in minimally invasive treatments in Kansas City. That's Miva Medical, MIVA-medical.com.
The Big O Tires Black Friday sale is on. It's the biggest sale of the year. Now through December 7th, buy 3 tires and get the 4th free on select sets. That's right, buy 3 tires, get the 4th free. And the savings don't stop there. Get up to $120 off select sets of Michelin tires. Big O Tires has 13 locally owned and operated KC Metro locations. Visit BigOTires.com to find a location near you and schedule an appointment. Get rolling with huge savings before they're gone. Only at your locally owned and operated Big O Tires, the team you trust.
We'll see the end of an era Saturday on Sports Radio 810. For well over 2 decades, the Racing Boys, Scott Traylor and Kirk Elliott, have brought you great insight and interviews about everything racing on Saturday mornings at 8 o'clock with Track Talk. Well, the white flag is out and the checkered flag will fly this week. It's the final Track Talk ever. Tune in to celebrate a championship run for Scott, Kirk, and honorary Racing Boy Todd Surprise this Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
KCFX HD4 Harrisonville, K279PI Kansas City, 103.7 FM. Sports Radio 810 WHB, Kansas City.
America's largest all-sports radio station presents the #1 motorsports show for over 2 decades, Track Talk, brought to you by Rod End Supply and the Power Ride Midwest Lightning Sprints. Here are the Racing Boys, Scott Traylor and Kirk Elliott.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Track Talk here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
How you doing this morning, Scott?
I'm doing well.
This is our last show.
It is.
Can you believe it? 25 years been doing it. We'll get into all of that towards the end of the show, but there's still a lot of racing going on. You and I were down at Creek County Speedway last Saturday night. That was a heck of a trip, wasn't it? We enjoyed the Fuzzies Fall Fling. Zach Dahm was the Saturday night winner. Blake Hahn, the Friday night winner. We got both those guys on the show today. We talked with Zach on Monday, and we'll replay that interview in the second hour. And the final guest of the show will be Blake Hahn coming up in hour 2. So we're looking forward to that. We also got Bob Douglas, Rod End Supply, coming up here in a little bit. And we still got a little bit of racing to talk about, too. Last night, USAC Midgets were at Merced Speedway out in California. That's a track you've been to.
I've been there.
Is that where you got, you had to go to the hospital when the COVID-19 pandemic was first getting started?
I did.
That was at Merced, wasn't it?
Right.
Oh, my. That was something. But you made it out of there, and you got home alive. But I remember you had to go to the hospital, and that was they had the COVID-19 scare. That's where it first started. But you made it home. And we had a birthday party for you.
Right.
Which was the last big gathering before the world shut down.
That was it.
5 years ago.
We had
Incredible.
We had a big party, and then literally, I think me and Kirk, didn't we have the carb?
Then we had the carb banquet. That was really the last big event.
That was it.
The carb induction ceremony.
And then the world shut down.
And then the world shut down. So there you go. But we made it through it. Somehow we made it through it. But anyway, USAC Midgets were at Merced Speedway in California last night, and this was a late addition to the USAC schedule because originally they were supposed to go to Thunderbolt Speedway, but too much rain out there in California forced Thunderbolt to shut it down, and so Merced stepped in and added a second night. They were supposed to be there tonight for a one-night show, but they added a second night last night at Merced, but they had to do a lot of work to get that racetrack together because it was virtually underwater. The track was underwater before
we show it, Todd?
I think we'll have that up there online. We'll show some video of that, but they were underwater when they first started pumping the water out early in the week, so there's a question whether or not they were going to be able to race at Merced, but they got it all pumped out and the track ready to go, and they had the races last night, and it was, shall we say, a little bit cowboy up. It was a little bit rough, but I thought they did a pretty good job of getting the track in shape, and Cannon McIntosh ended up winning the race, passing Buddy Kofoid about halfway through. A couple of Keith Coons drivers there. Buddy Kofoid, of course, coming off the World of Outlaws season, racing midgets now here in November out in California and getting ready for the Chili Bowl coming up. But it was the 200th
Are you
win
ready
for
the
Keith
Chili
Coons.
Bowl, Kirk?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. We got a couple more. We got 3 more USAC races to go before the Chili Bowl rolls around, so we'll talk about that. But it was the 200th win for Keith Coons in USAC midget racing last night. Cannon McIntosh, the 2-time BC 39 winner, was able to deliver that last night. And they'll go at it again tonight out at Merced Speedway. They had 32 cars on hand last night. And they've got tonight at Merced, next Tuesday at Bakersfield. What is that, the longest name in racing? The Kevin Harvick Speedway, Kern Raceway at Bakersfield Speedway, something like that. I'm not saying that right, but that's next Tuesday night, and then Turkey Night at Ventura next Saturdays. Then they get ready for the Chili Bowl coming up. So, and there was some news from the Chili Bowl that came out last week too, Scott. They got over 100 entries so far for the 40th annual Chili Bowl Midget Nationals coming up in mid-January. That beats the pace of last year. Of course, when it's all said and done, they're going to end up with over 350 entries when everybody gets signed up.
Did you notice a lot of people from California on there?
Sure. Yeah, always a lot of people from California on there.
Right.
The California connection.
California got a lot of good race car drivers. That's what happened. Now, Cannon McIntosh, he's from Oklahoma. Dazen Persley is from Oklahoma. So there's still some guys from the Midwest that can get it done.
Jason McDougal.
Yeah, is he still racing? I thought he might have retired. I don't know. Blake Hahn is going to race at the Chili Bowl. We'll have him on later in the second hour. We'll talk about that. He'll be at the shootout, too. Some of these guys also race the shootout, except for Zach Dahm, who focuses only on the Chili Bowl. That's what he told us in the interview Monday that you'll hear coming up in hour 2. But there was some other big news that came out this past week as well. A couple of days ago, the Lucas Oil Late Model Series released their 2026 schedule. And I think the biggest thing that jumped out to me is that Shelby County Speedway in Harlan, Iowa will be hosting the Silver Dollar Nationals in mid-July. Now, this is the big event that the Kosiski family started up at the old I-80 Speedway that's no longer in existence. For 3 years, they had it up at Huset's Speedway in South Dakota, and we knew that they weren't going back to Huset's Speedway here a few months ago when Huset's came out with their schedule, and it's no surprise. It just, the event just didn't really work up there.
Right.
It's more sprint car country. So they're going to bring it back closer to Omaha, closer to home, shall we say. The Shelby County Speedway in Harlan, Iowa will be hosting this big event that pays $53,000 to win on July the 16th, 17th, and 18th. And big news for my old stomping grounds, the Adams County Speedway. They're going to be hosting a Lucas Oil late model event earlier that week on Tuesday, July 14th. And Adams County Speedway is not only going to be hosting a Lucas Oil late model event, they're going to be hosting a World of Outlaws late model event in late August.
Hey, did I go up and see the World of Outlaws?
Yeah, what? The World of Outlaw late models or sprint cars?
Sprint cars.
Yeah. Probably have to go to Knoxville to see that. I think Knoxville's the closest to Kansas City to see the World of Outlaw sprint cars. Or they'll be at Knoxville 3 or 4 times this year. So, including Memorial Weekend. So we'll talk about that. But, man, you look at the middle of July, where they're going to Lucas Oil Speedway for the Diamond Nationals. Of course, earlier they'll be at Lucas Oil for the Show Me 100 over Memorial Weekend. But this is a road trip, Scott, that I'm thinking about doing. Starts off July 9th at 34 Raceway, a track I've never been to.
Right.
Friday and Saturday, July 10th and 11th at Lucas Oil Speedway for the Diamond Nationals. Then they go to Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa, Tuesday, July 14th. The Silver Dollar Nationals at Shelby County Speedway that Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Then I was thinking about heading up to Fairbury Speedway. That's another track on my bucket list the following weekend for the Prairie Dirt Classic. How about that 3-week stretch there?
Hey.
Since we're not doing a Saturday morning show anymore, I think I'll just hit the road.
To Fairbury with you?
Yeah, let's go.
Yep.
So that's a plan right there, I think, especially if you're a dirt late model fan. We like the dirt late models and the sprint cars, don't we?
Right.
I like it all. So we can do that now. We can make those kind of plans now since we're not going to be doing a Saturday morning show any longer.
Larry Waters said, "Morning, boys." Drunken Donald said, "Good morning."
Drunken who?
Drinking Donald.
Drinking Donald.
Good morning to everybody. As I said, we're going to have Bob Douglas, Rod End Supply, coming on here a little bit. He's got some big news for the Midwest Lightning Sprints. They've got a title sponsor now, Wholesale Batteries, and they released their 2026 schedules. We'll talk to Bob about that. And got a lot of things to talk about right now. Even though it's November the 22nd and things start dying down, we get over the week of Thanksgiving. There's not too much going on except Turkey Night, isn't it? USAC Midgets, that's about it. Everybody just kind of shuts it down for a couple of weeks. Then it'll dial back up in early December with the Gateway Nationals inside the Dome in St. Louis, where they're expecting 35,000 plus fans to attend. There's no dirt racing event in the world that will draw that many people inside the Dome where the Rams used to play in St. Louis. That's coming up the weekend of the 4th, 5th, and 6th of December. Snowball Derby coming up here in a couple of weeks, too, so it never ends. We just take a little bit of time off over Thanksgiving, and everybody's right back at it.
Right.
So we're still gonna follow what's going on. We're gonna continue to keep the Racing Boys website up and going and keep everybody updated on what's going on. And we'll be back here in January with a couple of shows.
The biggest thing is that we're going to keep the Racing Boys website up and going.
We'll keep that up and going, keep everybody updated with what's happening. And as I said, we'll have a couple of shows in January before and after the Chili Bowl to give a little preview of that and a wrap-up of everything's going on. Well, that'll be part of our Mostly Motorsports podcast.
Right.
We'll be doing at that time. So we're not going anywhere. We're just not going to get up early on Saturday mornings now. But we really appreciate everything Chad Boger, Sports Radio 810, everybody has done for us. It's hard to believe that they let us do this for
27 years.
25 for me, 27 for you. So
12 in. I appreciate as well, guys. It's been pretty amazing.
Todd, we couldn't have done this without you.
Well, I appreciate you guys saying
without
that.
you, Todd.
And I appreciate Scott giving me the chance to come over here at the old studio. I remember pulling in the first time over there at the old WHP place there in Independence on my first day and thinking, well, I don't know if I'm going to be ready for this or not. And it's been a whirlwind ever since, guys. It's been pretty fun. So good to be able to say, when they ask me what I do, I say I run a radio show I'm a producer for some Racing Boys on a radio show here in Kansas City. That's a pretty cool way to introduce yourself. So I just want to say thanks to Scott and Kirk for everything and everybody at 810. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's we got too many people to thank, and then we're going to leave somebody out. But what you've done for us, Todd, has been immeasurable. You spent all that time with us down at the Chili Bowl when we did that. That was an experience.
Broke some bones and spilled some blood down there, didn't we?
All good, man.
I had Scott running me to the emergency room on a Friday night.
When you broke your
arm. Broke my wrist, didn't I, Scott?
Broke your wrist.
Yep.
Fell down in front of about 10,000 people
You're trying to grab a beach ball.
I've still got the beach ball at home, and it's signed by everybody that was there, and a couple people who's not with us no more. With Craig Jensen and who's the other guy that used to do our plaques right there on the wall right over here? Kirk, who used to do the.
Brian Kopinski.
Both those guys signed that ball that I so famously ran after and busted my butt in front of everybody. So
we can't thank the Hahn family enough for allowing us to go down there and do the live broadcast of the Chili Bowl for 16 years. And we're still going to be around the Chili Bowl. We saw the Hahn family last Saturday night down at Creek County, so that was kind of cool. So we'll be talking with Blake Hahn, our favorite driver, coming up a little bit later on in the hour. Did you know they had some news coming out at Lakeside Speedway here a couple of days ago that Ralph Palmer is no longer the general manager at Lakeside Speedway?
Well, why do you think that is, Kirk?
I don't know, but I'll just read the post. Lakeside Speedway would like to sincerely thank Ralph Palmer Jr. and Tanya Rose Palmer for all their hard work and dedication. Don has decided to go in a different direction. That's Don Mars, the owner of the track. And not return Ralph as the general manager. So we don't know who's going to replace Ralph or what's going to happen now, but they put that announcement out that Lakeside Speedway is going to have a new general manager next year. I was kind of surprised to see that.
Are you thinking about Mark Olson coming back?
No, I don't
Mark's
think
not
so.
coming back.
I don't think so.
He's riding off to the sunset. He's listening right now.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he checked in a couple of weeks ago.
If anything, I would say Pete Howie, but he stepped back in. But I don't think he's interested in doing that either. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll keep you abreast on racingboys.com what's going on. But I was kind of surprised to see that news coming out last week. Weren't they only there a season? I
think they were there two
seasons,
at least two. I know.
Yeah. So we'll keep you abreast of everything there. So there's still a little big news that has come out. Turkey Bowl was at Springfield Raceway last weekend, and can you believe they had over 500 race cars in attendance on the final night of the whole weekend at Turkey Bowl? 500 plus race cars. Incredible. They had, I think it was 70 plus late models in attendance there on Saturday night. That's a lot of race cars. But Jerry Hoffman down there at Springfield Raceway has had this event for quite a number of years now, and it's paid off in some pretty big car numbers down through the years. They had I was looking at the results, and we'll get into that. We'll get into more of the results here, but I think that was the big news that came out of last weekend is how many race cars showed up at the Turkey Bowl at Springfield Raceway. I do have the results. Scott Krigler won the late model feature on Saturday night. And the A-Mod feature winner was Jim Chisholm, who is a former USMTS champion. So they had 76 A-Mods. They had 70 late models, 84 B-Mods, 29 super stocks.
That's a lot of B-Mods.
Yeah, 53 legend cars, 54 what they call MW mod, Midwest mods. So you add them all up, that's over 500 race cars. I don't know how you'd have room to pit all those cars. Right. Springfield Raceway.
That's a lot of cars, guys.
That is a lot.
I mean, we know that when you have that many cars down there at the Chili Bowl or the shootout. And those are half-size cars. You're talking about full-size race cars out there.
I didn't get to see any of the live video of that. So just saw because we were down at Creek County last Saturday night. But, yeah, that's a lot of race cars for sure. There was one other event that was held last night, and that was at Central Arizona Raceway. They had the Desert 360 wing sprint cars. How about the last couple of weeks that Jesse Slotfeld has had? Jesse won at Vado Speedway last weekend. I think he swept the weekend. And then last night at Central Arizona Raceway, he wins again after starting fifth, wins the feature event. And they'll go at it again tonight for the Dennis Matusak Memorial out at Central Arizona Raceway. I think that's maybe the only dirt track in Arizona right now. They're going to have the Wild West Shootout there this year in January. And they have the Western World there as well. Those of you watching online, we got an overhead shot of part of the story there of Central Arizona Raceway. I think Jerry Petty, who is with Abante Doors and Windows, he's a big sponsor of Kyle Cummins' USAC non-wing sprint cars. He's invested a lot of resources into that racetrack down there. And it's a pretty good-looking facility right now. So it's hard to believe it. I think it's the only dirt track left in Arizona. So we'll be watching the Wild West Shootout coming up. Well, we have Rod End Supply's Bob Douglas coming up here after the break. We're going to talk about what's going on with the Midwest Lightning Sprints, and we'll talk to a man that has been a Racing Boys sponsor from day one. Bob Douglas from Rod End Supply has been with us from when we got started, and we'll talk with Bob when we come back. You're listening to Sports Radio 810 WHB. Stay with us.
Track Talk. Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports as well as industrial applications with many different types of products. Since 1989, Rod End Supply has provided superior products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
2:30, gentlemen, 2:30.
Shopping and harsher weather is on the way. Is your roof ready? Don't get stuck this winter with leaks that can cause major damage and keep you up at night. For over 30 years, Pyramid Roofing has been protecting Kansas City area homes with top quality materials and expert craftsmanship that stand the test of time. Call 816-966-1101 or visit pyramidroofingkc.com. Pyramid Roofing, your home deserves the best.
The Black Friday event is on at Main Street Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lansing. Now through the end of the month, everything must go. Every new and pre-owned vehicle will be sold, regardless of profit or loss. Buyers will be on site to make sure you get top dollar for your trade-in. Every vehicle on our lot is included and available on a first-come, first-served basis. Save up to $17,000 on select new vehicles. Or drive home in the perfect pre-owned vehicle starting at $17,828 with over 70 to choose from. This is your once-a-year opportunity to save like never before. So don't wait. From now until November 29th, Black Friday meets even bigger savings. Main Street Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where the Black Friday event means everything goes. Visit mainstreetoflansing.com to view our inventory. Now through the end of the month, the Black Friday event is on.
Big news, Kansas City. Joslin's Jewelry has just been named Best of Kansas City by Ingram's Magazine and awarded the prestigious gold medal. For over 47 years, Joslin's has been your go-to for exquisite jewelry and exceptional service. All of us here at WHB are proud to be partners with Joslin's and would like to recognize this great achievement. Visit Joslin's Jewelry, where every piece tells a story. Joslin's Jewelry is at the corner of 95th and Antioch in Overland Park. Joslin's Jewelry, the gold standard in fine jewelry.
Joslin's Jewelry, for the best that's yet to come.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Welcome back to Track Talk. It's all brought to you by Rod End Supply, featuring the POWRi Midwest Lightning Sprints. Kirk, Bob Douglas is joining us now.
Yeah. Has Race Boys had a better friend than Bob Douglas?
No.
He has been with us from the very beginning, and we appreciate everything Bob Douglas, Rod End Supply, has done for us. Bob, how you doing this morning?
Doing great.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Man, we can't thank you enough for all you've done for the Racing Boys.
Well, it's definitely been my pleasure to do that. You guys have great friends, and glad to do it.
Well, we're not going anywhere. We're still going to be around, Bob. And I know that you've had a national presence with Rod End Supplies. I was watching the races last night out at Merced. Saw the Rod End Supply commercials. You got your hand in a lot of stuff around the country, don't you?
Yeah, we're very diverse, so to speak. Of course, everybody around the area knows us for racing, but we're pretty big in the industrial market as well.
Well, I'm proud that you're Kansas City based, but you're worldwide all over, and you got your big banner on the back stretch at the Chili Bowl. I would assume that'll happen again this year for both the Shootout and the Chili Bowl. We missed you down there last year, Bob, and I understand that you're making a big trip here in another couple of weeks. You're going to spend some time about as far away as you can get, Australia. How exciting is that?
Oh, it's really exciting. I've been wanting to go down there for many years. I tried to get over there on R&R when I was in Vietnam, and it didn't happen. So anyhow, we looked at it and said, let's go. And said, well, it costs so much money to get there, and it takes so long to get there and get back. We might as well stay for a while. So we're going to be over there for 2 months. We're leaving on December the 17th, and we get back on the 13th of February. And I'm going to go to 3 different racetracks. I am going to get to go to what they consider their Knoxville Nationals. So that's 3 nights of racing there. And I've got a couple of customers I'm going to visit with, and maybe see if we can develop a couple of new customers while we're there.
Right.
That's incredible. Now, you're gonna attempt to drive while you're over there. I guess they do everything backwards over there. Are you ready for that?
Well, it'll definitely be a learning experience. I know we've got 2 or 3 little short flights in country, because I look at the map and say, we'll just drive over there, and I get to checking, and I said, geez, that's an 8-hour drive.
Right.
No, we ain't gonna drive that. So, so it's definitely going to be an experience. And from what I understand, they got a lot of roundabouts over there. We're starting to have more and more here in the Kansas City area, but I guess there's a lot of them over there.
Yeah, it's but you're you know, I didn't realize this till a year ago. You know, High Limit goes to Perth. That is so far away on the western coast of Australia, and you don't think about just how far that is, but that's farther than going from the east coast to the west coast of the United States, I'm told.
Yeah, I looked at that, and they told me it's about a 4-day drive if you drive it. And really, you know, you go from there's nothing really out there that much, at least from what I've been told. And so we looked at it and said, we're not going to get to go out there. I thought, well, if we ever make another trip, we might go out that direction. But we're pretty well much staying on the east side. Our first race is on December 26th in New Zealand, and it's one of their midget races. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, and hopefully we'll be able to link up with you know, some of the drivers from here in the United States that go over to race too.
Now, sprint car racing is the biggest form of motorsports in Australia, and midgets are big in New Zealand. Why is that?
Hey, Bob.
I have no idea.
Hey, Bob, how long have you been in the rod end supply business?
Well, I started rod end supply in 1989, so we've been in it for 30 some years at least, 40 years. Yeah, 40 years now. So almost 40 years. So yeah, we've been in it for quite a while.
Talk about some of the products that you manufacture and what they're used for.
Well, we've got a lot of different types of rod ends. We've got like 4 different types of rod ends. We've got, and they're made out of various types of material. We have aluminum rod ends. We've got chromoly steel. We've got mild steel. We have a few stainless steel. We don't do a lot with stainless because there's just not a big call for that. Most of our product is all domestic threads. We have a few small sizes of, domestic threads. We have a few small sizes of metric threads. But the rod ends can be used for just about anything or everything. We've got a little bitty rod end that's it's a female aluminum rod end, got a 440 hole in the ball and a 540 thread that's very small, and they're used by Disney to move the eyes and the ears and the lips and that type of thing on their animatronics. We have another part that we've been supplying. We've supplied a couple of different times to the aerospace industry, which was pretty a neat deal. We now are stocking an 1.5 and 2-inch rod end. And we're the only ones in the United States that are stocking that large size. Those are used in big industrial equipment, farm equipment. Most of them go on the ends of huge hydraulic cylinders. So we've got a wide variety of product that's used just about anywhere and everywhere for just about anything, actually.
This is way bigger than racing. You're involved in a lot of different aspects of life, really, aren't you?
Yes, quite a bit. We supply some parts to companies that make the lifts to put the wheelchairs into vehicles. We do that. One of the things that people probably don't realize, but all the A-arms on the Cup 2 cars, the Cup cars, we're supplying the spherical bearings that go in the A-arms in the Cup cars.
Can you ever imagine what this has turned into in 2025? When you first got started in 1989, did you have any idea what you'd be doing at this point?
No, I really didn't. I got into it because, of course, I was into racing.
Yeah.
Grew up with it as a kid, and I said, I need to sell something that I can be involved in the racing industry a little bit. And so that's basically the reason why I got into it.
You got some big news so that you're in charge of the Midwest Lightning Sprints. This is one of the more affordable types of racing that there is, and you've had the Midwest Lightning Sprints for a number of years now. Some news that's come out here over the last couple of weeks. You acquired a title sponsor. Wholesale Batteries will be the title sponsor of the Midwest Lightning Sprints for 2026, and you also released your new schedule this year. First, let's talk about how much of an impact Wholesale Batteries will have on the Midwest Lightning Sprints going forward.
Well, we're really grateful to Randy and his group coming on board with us. Wholesale Batteries just does a tremendous job. They've got batteries for anything and everything. No matter what it is, they've got a battery for it. They've got them in stock, and they're a super company. And so the sponsorship money we're getting from them is going to allow us to double our points fund money. For one, we will be paying $100 to start the feature every night that we race. The biggest thing is it'll increase our payout as far as on the upper side, and also what it pays to win. Most of the races we're going to pay probably $3.25 to $3.50 to win, but every place below that drops down $25. It's not like we pay a big amount and then there's a huge difference between first and second. So it's going to allow us to do that. Right now we've got 28 cars in our group. We've gotten 3 new cars since the season has ended in September. So we're looking for a pretty good year.
Why is this so attractive to new people wanting to get involved, race open wheel? Just to kind of talk about the aspect of the expense involved of getting started with the Midwest Lightning Sprints. Very affordable type racing.
Well, this is, I've always said this is the least expensive way to go fast, okay? You can't buy a brand new motorcycle engine. You can't go into a dealer and buy a brand new motorcycle engine, because the first thing, if you order one, you go in there, then they want to see the bike, because they want to make sure that, whatever you're doing is not stolen. So anyhow, you have to buy them through eBay or, some of the bike salvage yards. Normally, you're going to buy a motor somewhere in the neighborhood of $2,500 up to about $5,000. We do have a stock motor rule, so we keep the motor stocks. You can convert them to methanol alcohol, which most people do. Retime the cams a little bit. But anyhow, the motors with general maintenance should run somewhere in the neighborhood of about 2 years, possibly 3. Tires, if you buy 6 brand new rear tires at the start of the season, you won't buy another one the rest of the year. So tire wear is fairly affordable. The other thing is that we've got a lot of guys that know some of the midget guys, and they'll run them maybe one night, and the tire has still got 80%, 85% life in it. So we ended up with those tires either really cheap or free. So a lot of times you don't have any expense in tires at all, so which makes it pretty nice. The cars are fast. We are anywhere from 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds a lap faster than a dirt late model or an A-mod. And a lot of people don't understand that. These are what they call sport bike motors, and those motors will run 200 mile an hour out on the highway. So they're definitely not toys.
That is fast. That puts it in perspective right there. No question about that. But
you can buy a good used car anywhere with spares somewhere in the neighborhood of $7,000 to $10,000, maybe a little more, which is kind of nice. Newer cars cost more than that, of course, but a lot of the guys we've got getting into this has either wanted to race for a long time or used to race other things and it got too expensive and they quit, but they still have that urge to race. So now they're able to do it with these cars. two of the guys that are out of these three that just come on board, two of them used to race.
I raced one of them one time. Do you remember that down at Adrian?
How'd it go?
Absolutely, yeah. You got a chance to drive Jim Bevan's car.
Right.
Yeah.
You brought it back in one piece, I take it.
I did.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes, he did.
Well, Bob, you've got a big schedule coming up. It opens up in April 11th at Valley Speedway. You're going to I-35, Nevada, Sweet Springs, just some of the racetracks that you're going to this year. Pretty good schedule of races coming up in 2026.
Yeah, we've got 21 races scheduled all total. Starting April the 11th, we're going to finish up the last Saturday of September. And what I've been able to do through that summer, we have 5 weekends that we do not have any races scheduled. And that way it gives families a chance to go to the lake if they want to do that, or maybe they're waiting on a part for a car that might give them a little extra time to get a car back on the racetrack or something. But I tried to, we wouldn't mind racing until about mid-October, but there's most of the tracks shutting down at the end of September now. So if we did that, we'd have maybe a couple of more races or a couple of more weekends we could be without racing. But that's all right, though. We try to do that. We try to be cognizant of families. And then this is a family deal. It's not a cutthroat deal. You're in the racetrack. If a guy has a problem with his car, gets in a wreck or something that can be fixed, he'll have more people over there trying to help him than he needs.
Well, Bob, thank you very much for everything that you have done. We're going to stay in touch. You've got your banquet coming up here a little bit. By the way, who is the champion of 2026?
Well, Stanley Kreisel is our champion
again.
For this
he did
year.
it again.
Yeah. Stanley did it again. He's been racing for a long time. Got a lot of experience. He did very well. Tyler Johnson was second place. Jason Billups, which had been running non-wing sprint cars, he's back with us. He was third. Brandon Mazur, he's raced 2 or 3 different types of cars. He started racing with us back, 15 years ago, maybe a little longer. And then a name that a lot of people might remember, Dalton Hevelo, is our Rookie of the Year, and he placed 5th in the points, which good kid, does a great job. And that is Phil Hevelo, which was our points champion for, I don't know, I'd have to look it up again, but 11 or 12 years. But anyhow, Dalton is Phil's grandson.
That's great.
Right.
Keep the Hevelo name going. Hey, Bob, thanks so much for everything. We'll stay in touch. And you have a great trip out to Australia. Can't wait to talk to you when you get back. I'm sure you'll have a lot of stories to tell when you get back.
Oh yeah, we'll bring pictures of race cars.
That's it. Safe travels anyway. Bob, take care. Happy holidays, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for everything you did. Thanks for everything you did for us, Bob.
All right. Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Kurt.
There he is, Bob Douglas, Rod End Supply, Midwest Lightning Sprints, joining us. We're going to take a short break. We're coming back with more here on Track Talk. Stay with us.
Track Talk. Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motors.
You got 3 minutes and 30 seconds, gentlemen. You've got an out time of 56:18.
10-4.
Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply is an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
Hi, we're the people who have everything.
There's nothing you can get us we don't have.
We have 7 mini vacuums.
And Pearl handled
pickleball rackets.
See?
Need a gift for someone who has everything? The Kansas Lottery has you covered with holiday scratch tickets in $1, $2, $5, $10, and $20 options with instant wins up to $100,000. You could win even more in second chance drawings.
Did he say thousands?
We could always use that.
See kslottery.com for details.
Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and at your Henhouse Markets, they're ready to help you make it the best one yet. Thanksgiving starts at Henhouse, your local home for everything fresh and delicious, from hand-selected turkeys to farm-fresh produce, bakery pies, and all your holiday sides. Henhouse has what you need to make this Thanksgiving perfect. Pre-order your turkey and holiday meal today and spend less time in the kitchen, more time around the table. Make it a Henhouse Thanksgiving. Henhouse Market, your local, trusted grocer since 1923, and now 100% teammate owned.
We're only a few weeks in, and the NBA season is already wild. Stars are going off, rookies making noise, and the action doesn't stop. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is where you can get in on all of it. Don't forget the Emirates NBA Cup is rolling along as well. Big moments, big matchups, and a whole lot on the line. Don't miss out. Jump in and bet on the action today. New customers bet just $5 and get $200 if your bet wins. Paid in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. That's code 810WHB. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Kansas only. Eligibility and restrictions apply. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
The temperature is dropping and harsher weather is on the way. Is your roof ready? Don't get stuck this winter with leaks that can cause major damage and keep you up at night. For over 30 years, Pyramid Roofing has been protecting Kansas City area homes with top quality materials and expert craftsmanship that stand the test of time. Call 816-966-1101 or visit PyramidRoofingKC.com. Pyramid Roofing, your home deserves the best.
Don't miss the Black Friday event for your backyard dreams. ProBuilt Pool and Patio's Black Friday Blast starts November 21st. You'll find incredible savings on everything you need for outdoor living. All pools $6,000 off. Get $1,500 off cow spas, $2,000 off our swim spas, and save $2,000 on the innovative Covana electric cover. Take 20% off Canyon furniture and knock up to $2,500 off Vischer saunas. Visit ProBuilt Pool and Patio today at 4708 Northwest Gateway Avenue in Riverside. Your ultimate outdoor oasis awaits.
Welcome back to Track Talk. It's all brought to you by Rod End Supply, featuring the POWRi Midwest Lightning Sprints. Joining us now on the show is Pat Warren. Pat, how you doing?
I think we got to punch him up there. There we got Pat. Pat Warren, Kansas Speedway. How you doing?
I am doing great. How are you?
Well, we're doing fine. So I take it you heard the news. The Racing Boys are going to shut down Track Talk after today. I appreciate you calling in.
I am really excited and a little sad, honestly.
Yeah.
Sad to be on the last show, but excited and honored to be part of it.
Well,
Right.
I appreciate you coming in. Before we, first of all, thank you for everything that you've done for the Racing Boys. We were out there when the track first opened. 2001. Hard to believe. You know, I remember the groundbreaking ceremony at Kansas Speedway. We were all out there for that, and here we are 25 years later, and it's going strong at Kansas Speedway.
Yeah, it's funny. When we have internal meetings with the NASCAR-owned tracks, everybody still talks about Kansas Speedway being new because everything looks so nice when you go out there. And our operations guys and now me increasingly, you know, I have to keep reminding people, hey, we're 25 years old, you know, and that's the time when, you know, air conditioning units and concrete and everything starts to show its age. And so we're you know, I'd say we're sort of middle-aged for a racetrack, but certainly doing a better job getting our own identity, especially with the closest finish in NASCAR history, you know, a year ago in May. So,
are you surprised at 25 years?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I'm surprised, but I'll say this. You know, I was working at the University of Kansas when the track was built, And I remember driving to the airport for a trip with the person who's now our vice president of operations, Darren Cook, who worked with me at the time. And neither of us could understand a business model where you made almost all of your money on 2 weekends a year. Now we understand it.
Now you get it. Well, you got a little bit of a change in 2026. The spring events are going to be in April this year, and you got the same weekend in September, so 2 big weekends return in 2026.
Yeah, we've raced in April before. It's a little bit cooler than that May weekend, but it does move us away from graduations and Mother's Day and a few less wedding-type excuses and things like that. So we're excited about the April date and, have our fingers crossed that Mother Nature will cooperate.
Yeah, just keep her. I don't remember a cup race ever on a Monday at Kansas Speedway. Let's keep that streak going.
Yeah, we've never had Cup on Monday. We did do the midweek race during the pandemic. I think it was a Wednesday night race.
Right.
That was a different time for everything.
Yeah, that was how much of a struggle was that getting through all that? We're 5 years removed from all of that now. That really, NASCAR was really at the forefront of opening back up after the world shut down at that time.
Yeah, frankly, it was brutal. I went to 3 races where we didn't have fans, 2 in Michigan and 1 at Kansas, and there is nothing less satisfying than doing all the work that you have to do to get ready for the Cup Series, and then layer on top of it, everything we were doing because of COVID, and then you don't have a fan. Because fans are the ones that bring the energy. The racing is great,
right?
But the reason we do this is for our fans. We didn't have fans, we wouldn't have races.
Yeah, and the end. I remember the infield was closed, and they're there for a couple of events there. But you managed your way through it, and since we've come back from all of that, you have really opened things up for the race fans, especially down in the garage area and out on pit road. We're seeing the drivers sign more autographs now in the infield than we ever have.
Yeah, I think the drivers realized probably during the pandemic the same thing, which is that you can sort of hide in your hauler or hide in your motor coach, but fans don't appreciate that.
No,
and,
right?
They want to see the driver if they can. Not everybody's going to get an autograph, but if they see I've seen Kyle Larson as an example. He's phenomenal about stopping, especially for kids, trying to sign as much as he can. And that makes a difference. It really makes a difference in the driver popularity and the popularity of the sport.
Are you going to have the Kansas City Chiefs as your neighbors out there one day?
I don't know. If that happens, it won't be my decision. I can tell you that. That's probably something to ask one of the members of the France family and maybe the Hunt family.
So we just don't know what's going to happen with all of that. But Kansas Speedway was at the beginning of all of that development out there. The Legends, you got the Hollywood Casino. It all started with Kansas Speedway. You got the soccer team out there, and just the growth around Kansas Speedway since the Speedway was built.
Yeah, it's funny. My dad worked in Kansas City, Kansas for 35 years for Procter & Gamble at the plant on Kansas Avenue. And my sister lived on the track property, and Jeff Berger bought her house from the only subdivision that was there. So, she was one of the people that she moved from KCK to Baser and lived there for, I don't know, probably 15 years after the track was built. Yeah, interesting connections. Of course, I wasn't part of it then. I started in 2006. So, yeah. We started it all. And, of course, now, Cleveland Construction is really moving fast, getting Buc-ee's built. And so we're excited about that opening hopefully sometime next year.
Are you excited about Buc-ee's coming in?
I am. I'm thrilled. I had not been to one when we started the discussions with them as a company. But anybody who's gone to one, not everybody's a fan, but I think most people are. The average person who stops spends almost an hour there.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Buc-ee's.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal experience. 4 to 5 million visitors a year to the area.
Well, I got to admit, my first Buc-ee's experience will be the Buc-ee's out by Kansas Speedway. I've never been to one before, so can't wait.
Well, maybe if you get down to
Yeah.
Springfield, you can hit the one down there before ours opens. But if not, we'll have you to the grand opening, and you can get your first experience there.
I think I'll wait till the one near Kansas Speedway opens.
Right.
I think
All right,
that's
fair
what
enough.
that's what I'm going to be doing. Hey, what kind of a point system are we going to have for next year, do you think?
I don't know. That's all been held pretty close to the vest. I don't. I think you're going to see some kind of a playoff, personally, but I honestly don't know. I just think the elimination format and trying to ensure that you don't have a champion determined before the last race is probably important. But I just say wait and see. I know our competition folks and Tim Clark, who's one of our EVPs at NASCAR, are working on that. And the best I can say is stay tuned.
That's it. Do you have any idea when we might have an announcement? It's hard to say at this point, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what the timing on that is going to be. The only thing I've heard is that I do think the stage racing will probably continue regardless of the points format, and I'm not sure how that interplays. But I don't think the stage racing is going away.
Yeah, I kind of figured that. And there's some form of a chase, the old chase format. Maybe they'll kind of have a mixture of what has been a full season and still a chase. We call it the chase back in the day, but that type of format,
I remember.
that's kind of what I'm expecting. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure, Kirk. I know they're looking at several options, and the good thing about all sports is you can guarantee that whatever we pick, somebody's not going to be happy and somebody's going to be thrilled. So,
right.
Yeah, you're never going to make everybody happy. That is for sure.
Right.
Well, listen, tickets are available for next year. Go to KansasSpeedway.com. Would that be the best place to go?
yeah, they can do that, or they can, if they've never been, which is unlikely for somebody listening to the Racing Boys, you call 866-460-RACE.
Pat, we really appreciate everything you've done for the Racing Boys. Thank you so much. Well, I'm going to be a ticket buyer out there at Kansas Speedway. I'm not going to stop going to Kansas Speedway. So.
Hey, Kirk.
Well, I know somebody who can probably help you with tickets. And
there you go.
Right.
Well, I appreciate that. That's
we'll
for
do
sure.
that. Todd, you feel the same way.
Yeah, well,
in your backyard. So
it's
we'll
in
be
my
around.
backyard, so I told Pat I'm not going anywhere soon. You'll be seeing me in the backyard. So.
And we look forward to
I
seeing
look forward to seeing you guys in April.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon. Thanks, Pat. Really appreciate it.
All right. Congratulations on a lot of great years of broadcasting, and thanks for everything you guys have done for racing, not just in the Midwest, but throughout the country.
We really appreciate
Right.
that. Thank you. Pat Warren.
Have a great day, guys.
You too. Have a great weekend. Happy
Thanks,
holiday season. Pat Warren, Kansas Speedway, joining us. He's a good guy,
He is a really
I like
good
Pat.
guy.
Yeah, just he's done a lot out here at Kansas
He's
Speedway.
done a lot for us
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well, hadn't he, Kirk?
Absolutely. We're going to hear from Bob Baker from the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame coming up in hour two. He wanted to give us a shout. He's been a big supporter of us with the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame Museum. We'll talk a lot about that coming up in the second hour. They got a couple of Corvettes that they're going to be giving up. 2 Corvettes. Can you imagine that? They got that 57 Corvette that they're going to be drawing on December the 25th. And Valentine's Day for the big 2025 Corvette. So we'll talk to Bob about that coming up in hour two. We've also got interviews with Dave Argerbright.
A lot of people are wishing us happy retirement,
we
Kirk.
appreciate that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them on the line. We'll
Yeah.
in hour two.
Who else is going to check in? We don't know.
Yep.
We'll find out. So that is exclusively on RacingBoys.com, our Facebook page, and YouTube coming up hour two. It's a shortened version of College Game Day coming up after the top of the hour because my Iowa State Cyclones play Kansas today at 11 o'clock. So that you can hear that game right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thanks to Chad Boger. Thanks to everybody at Sports Radio 810. Todd Lebo, Jay Powers, spinning the dials, and all of the board ops that we've had down through the years. We can't thank them enough for keeping it going. Todd, surprise You're the best, man.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate both of you guys. Everybody at 810, Chad Boger, everybody. Just
Scott,
awesome.
what do you
Thanks,
think?
Scott Trailer. Appreciate you.
Right.
We appreciate everybody tuning in. Stay with us on racingboys.com. We'll still keep you updated. For Todd Surprise, for my partner, Scott Trailer. We're still partners, by the way, and
right.
will be. I'm Kirk Elliott. Thanks for tuning in.
Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports as well as industrial applications with many different types of products. Since 1989, Rod End Supply has provided superior products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
Fellow Missourians, we're getting
Thanks, my
closer
man.
every day to America's #1.
You guys almost made me cry over here.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. We appreciate everything you guys done. And like I said, let everybody know over there how much Racing Boys, and we appreciate everything over there, man.
All right, will do.
Hey, man, reach out to me. You got my number, man. Text me. And
Yeah, did you ever get my text from last week?
I don't think I did. So let me double check, and I'll get the phone. I'll get your number from Kirk here in just a couple seconds, and I'll text you right back.
Will do.
Cool.
Right.
Have a good week, brother.
You too, man.
On December 1st, when it all goes live in Missouri.
Rod End Supply is involved with a variety of motorsports as well as industrial applications with many different types of products. Since 1989, Rod End Supply has provided superior products priced competitively. Whether you're racing at the circle track or drag strip, rock climbing, or going off-road, Rod End Supply has an assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products to keep your equipment moving. Rod End Supply's experienced staff is ready and willing to help you with your needs. Their promise is to continue to provide a superior product with superior service so you can stay in front of the field no matter what it is. To learn more, go to rodendsupply.com.
Here at Specialty Sportswear in-house, we do all of the screen printing, all the embroidery. We do some vinyl. The other add specialty items like your pens, magnets, notepads, calendars. You can actually buy that, build your business to make it larger. We have the largest screen printing process and the largest embroidery anywhere around in the area. We can do stuff all the way from your school clubs to sports teams, a professional look in the office. If you can imagine it, we can do it for you.
From the circle track to the drag strip to off-road racing, Rod End Supply has been keeping their customers at the front of the field since 1989. Whether you need rod ends, tubular rods, or specialty products, Bob Douglas and his Rod End Supply staff are always ready to help you with your needs. You can visit them on the web at rodendsupply.com or call them at 800-284-2902. That's 800-284-2902. Rod End Supply, keeping you at the front of the field.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sabres 33 RLP. Let's go take a tour. Coming into this animal, we're going to take a trip back here to the feature of this trailer, the deck. Check it out. It's awesome. It's 4 by 10 feet. You can dance on this thing. Boom! Check it out. It's pretty nice. And then coming to the back of this thing, you got a 75-inch TV. It's huge. 60-inch fireplace. It's nice and big, keep you warm. Then you got an ottoman that converts into a table, if you will. Maybe some TV trays. Then this hide-a-bed that I'm pointing at, it comes out and folds into like a king-size bed with storage in the corner for all your linens. Great little addition to the trailer. Your dinette, of course. Then you're gonna come around to the kitchen with the tic-toc sink. It's got the spritzer and the waterfall and all that stuff. Residential style refrigerator. It's got the microwave and the oven that's residential as well. Big old pantry over here with motion detected lights, coffee bar, and then coming up to the bedroom, you'll have the bathroom first, nice and spacious with a seat in it for them ladies. And then we got the king size bedroom with washer dryer hookup. I'm telling you, this is a home run for a couples coach. Come and see me, Kyle Walker.
Steve died, the outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, We didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
So we have a lot of folks come in interested in traveling for work. This is going to be a great option. Your Coachman Northern Spirit 2565 front kitchen. You have a nice wraparound full front kitchen here. Huge windows up top. Big 12-volt refrigerator. Lots of windows on the sides here. Great natural light coming in. You have your big TV over here on the swing arm bracket so you can kind of see it from any point in the room. Also have your bar stools here. Sit and eat your breakfast. In the bedroom, you're going to have a king-size bed in the slide-out. Lots of storage underneath that. Washer, dryer, hookup. Tons of storage with the drawers. Then you got your full bath across the back. When it comes down to a camper that you can get for 6,500 pounds and be under 30 feet long, this is an absolute home run.
Race fans, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum is open 7 days a week, year-round, for you to come in and check out all of the wonderful race cars on display in the museum. And our online store at sprintcarstuff.com is open 24 hours a day for you to check out everything that we have in stock for sprint car fans. Whether it's for a birthday, anniversary, or Christmas, sprintcarstuff.com has it all. That's at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville.
Go harder, faster, stronger with Rod End Supply. Whether you are running industrial, farming equipment, or a race car, Rod End Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you lead the field in performance. Our superior design means our rod ends last longer and perform better, giving you the edge on the track and saving you money. Contact Rod End Supply or order online today at rodendsupply.com. We don't just sell them, we race them. rodendsupply.com. Serving the racing community for over 30 years.
Hey everybody, this is Larry the Cable Guide. You are listening to RacingBoys.com, and if you're not, I swear to you, get in your truck or do something, but get the hell out of this country, because you don't belong in it if you don't listen to these fellas.
It's time for America's most unique motorsports show, Track Talk, brought to you by Rod End Supply and the Power Ride Midwest Lightning Sprints. Here are the racing boys, Scott Traylor and Kirk Elliott.
Welcome back to Track Talk. It's all brought to you by Rod End Supply, featuring the Power Ride Midwest Lightning Sprints. Kirk, we've done a lot over the years.
Man, just it's hard to go back. You know, the first thing I remember, you and me together, was we went out and broadcasted those races at I-70 and the State Fair Speedway, right, and Heartland Park Topeka Dirt Track. And can you believe they let us do that?
No.
On the 50,000-watt WHB
station.
They let us do it. And you did that pre-race show at I-70 Speedway in your fire suit every Saturday night. Because when that pre-race show was over, you went right back down to the pits, got in your modified, and went hot lapping.
Right.
How did that work out? How'd you do that?
It didn't work out. Hey, look at there, Todd.
We got a picture up right now. This is from the
Brian Kopinski.
Scotty Cook, Scott Traylor, and Kirk Elliott from the down there at the Chili Bowl. That's the first booth, I think, when you guys first got the booth up there.
Yeah, sadly, we don't have Brian Kopinski with us any longer. We lost him after, I think it was 2020, wasn't it? And he was Brian Kopinski knew more about midget racing than anybody in the world.
Right.
And I'm glad that Flow Racing has the Brian Kopinski booth at the Chili Bowl,
right,
still, to honor Brian every year, because he was Mr. Midget Racing Brian Kopinski.
And there's Mr.
Boy,
Late,
look at that photo.
Mr. Late Model Racing right there.
Boy, we missed the man on the right, the merman, Lloyd Collins.
Lloyd Collins.
Yeah. Boy, we changed a little bit, haven't we? Does it look like we've gotten older, haven't we?
Kirk,
oh my God!
You look a few sizes smaller there in that picture.
Wow. What year would that have been?
I have no idea. That's out at Kansas Speedway, though.
The early
You got
2000s?
Got the hot. That's pre-me, that's for sure. So, yeah, the mustache is flowing strong there. Scott, you got a hell of a mustache right there, my man.
Right. Just a goatee.
Now you got the goatee, but boy, in that picture you had a little you had the little soul patch and the big thick mustache. So
right.
Looking sweet.
Well, I miss that man on the right. The merman.
Got another picture there of Scott and Jason Johnson from the...
There's another person we're sadly missing. Jason Johnson.
Yep.
That was when Scott was rocking the soul patch real good there. You like that,
You went
Scott?
out there, covered that ASCS
Hey, I
tour.
didn't have a mustache there.
No, you were just growing it back in. It looks like.
You were out there covering that ASCS tour for, what, 15 years?
Yep.
Jason Johnson was a 5-time champion during that time. Shane Stewart won it a couple of times. Boy, that was a star-studded ASCS tour, wasn't it? There's the crew from the Chili Bowl.
One of our first ones. That was one of our first group pictures from the Chili Bowl. We had still got
Steve
Craig
Griswold standing back there.
Yep,
We couldn't have done it without him.
Got Craig Jensen still there with us. And
Jim Childers.
look at that, Chris Wildner up there in front.
Jeff Converse.
Got Jeff Converse, Dean Mills.
We wish Jim Childers the best. He's been going through
some health problems,
health
so-
issues. So thinking about him, and boy, these are. I haven't seen these photos forever.
How about that one?
Who wrote? Who?
I don't remember
who
who.
made that up?
I don't remember who drew it. I took a picture of that off of the over there at the studio.
Might have been my nephew Brad. I don't know. I think so. I don't know who did that, Scott.
Yeah, I like that one. I couldn't find it. There we go.
I don't know who did it, Kirk.
That's when they had the SpongeBob
How about
sponsorship
that?
out
This
at Kansas Speedway.
This one's for your Saturday morning cartoon when you're getting up to having your cereal in the morning. You turn on your SpongeBob and
That was a great sponsorship.
remember that, Kirk?
Out there, yeah.
And Scott were out there and hung out with those guys that day, and
Right.
they had them all out there. And for me, as a stay-at-home dad, watching, I watched every episode of SpongeBob. I don't know how many times, and not SpongeBob stayed in character, but if you remember Squidward, who was another character, he was out there, but not in character. He was just there as the person himself. And to hear that voice come out of that human's face, it was just
Todd.
It was something else, man.
Did you notice we're up to 51 people?
We're over that, Scott. We're sitting at 50 on Facebook, but we're at about almost 100 now. We got 10, 20 on YouTube and another 15 here on our homepage. So we appreciate all the fans that
support us.
Absolutely, and like you said, we're not wrapping up the Racing Boys, so to speak. We're just going to wrap up this Saturday morning type show. You remember this here? This is when we used to do from McCarthy Auto Group. We did a few live shows. Remember that?
Live shows,
We
yeah.
did some live shows from McCarthy. That's right inside the actual sales room floor right there. We used to do I think we did a couple track talks from out there, and then we did a evening show, and then
the tie line
still hanging tough.
Same tie line we're using today.
Still hanging tough.
Right.
And the other unit was to help the internet.
Yes, sir. Back before we had and then we'll pull up an old picture of the
Sharon standing there.
Got the kids. And
Tori is that. Sharon and Tori are in that.
Carl and Carl, Edward, and Tristan down there at the bottom.
And there's Tristan. Right?
Tristan, she bawled like a baby because she didn't get into the fence. Remember that, Sharon?
Good stuff.
That's when Carl Edwards won?
Yes, sir. He's holding the belt right there that we have over here on the pool table.
Wow. I-70 Speedway.
Man, I wish they'd bring that back.
How about this one here? Remember when we were out there at the bowling thing, Kirk? I was the Go Bowling.
Yep.
I got a bowling pin still from Kansas Speedway at the house. They were giving those. They had centerpieces.
Yeah, Go Bowling was the sponsor. They, Pat Warren, they developed some good title sponsors for some of those races out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lee Spencer.
We used to do the pre-race show right out there in the concourse, and then, as you can tell, there's hardly anybody there because what happened was when we first used to do all the pre-race shows out there, it was during the race event.
Lee Spencer.
But then as the years went on, the show started, the races were later in the day, so Saturday morning there would be nobody out there, and I used to have to put a barricade up to keep fans from gathering around and smashing our table there or tripping over our cables. Remember there for a while we had the big table out there, but towards the end we decided let's better not do these shows outside in the cold or the hot or the rain or when there was we didn't have
originating our live shows out there after the pandemic.
That's right.
I think up until then we were doing them all out
and
there.
And then we would send Kirk out there, and me and Scott would stay in the studio, and we would do our live shows that way.
I got to say this about Lee Spencer: she did us a lot.
She did a lot
of years
for us.
covering NASCAR. Now she's
the main
XM or Sirius XM radio.
Yeah,
and
she's all over it.
She is.
When you're post race on Sirius XM, you have a
does
whole
all the
earful
pre
of
and post race out at all the NASCAR races, and of course she and her husband Lee have been around NASCAR racing for a very long time. And we spoke with Lee just in September out here at Kansas Speedway. So, but she did a lot of things for Racing Boys, and we thank her for her years of service.
I'd like to thank the CARB for giving me the award for the Tom Wilson Media Member 2015. Yeah. I never know who actually nominated me. They don't ever tell you who the person was that nominated you. I have an idea of a few people who may have piggybacked on it.
Well deserved, Todd.
I appreciate that award. That was just 4 years after I started working with you guys. It seemed like it was much longer. I went
Scott
back.
and I won that award one time.
It's right here on the desk. Yeah. Mine was a little different. Mine was one of those plastic or those clear glass type awards. But in 2015, like I said, I appreciate everybody who nominated me for that award, and I just wanted to put that out there because I had not passed that on to anybody. And that was a pretty cool thing for me and my wife to, she went to that CARB event, and Kirk was there. He was running the camera. That was a fun deal, man. I appreciate all that. That was fun.
Yeah, you when we did live video of the CARB induction ceremony, you did the live video for that.
And we did one live video of the Knoxville Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
remember?
We did that one year.
We did the 1 year. We went up there and set up and knocked it out. I think that was the year. Trying to remember who the drivers were that were inducted that year. Pat Sullivan, I think, was inducted that year.
He was one of the inductees.
Absolutely.
Well, Dave Argabright is another inductee.
Yes, sir.
He's a co-host of the induction ceremonies with Pat Sullivan. And we're going to hear from Bob Baker coming up here in a little bit,
calling
too.
him right now.
You want to run that Dave Argabright interview now, and then we'll
we can do that, and I'll call Bob right after that.
Let's do that. Earlier this week on Mostly Motorsports, we spoke with the Hall of Famer, maybe the best motorsports writer in America, I think. He's the author of many, many books on motorsports. His latest is Kinzer, and we spoke with Dave Argabright earlier this week on Mostly Motorsports, and here is that conversation. Get back to Steve. At the end of his career, how difficult was that for him to retire when he did? His dad raced till, I don't know how old he was, till 70 years old. How difficult was that when Steve hung it up?
Well, I don't want to give away too much, Kirk. It's something he talks about a lot, and I just would suffice to say that he was really comfortable, more than maybe he anticipated. And again, any of us that have been really close to the sport that begin to step away from it's a process, because racing becomes your life essentially, or a big, huge chunk of it, and it's hard to imagine what it's going to be like when it's not your life. But he's made a great transition. I mean, he's very content to be around Bloomington. He does a lot of outdoor work in the summertime with mowing some properties that he has, and he manages to stay busy. And he's, I think the one tone that people would take from the book right now is he's really in a happy place. He really is. He's content with his career. He's happy with the way his life played out, and it's kind of a heartening thing to see.
High Limit versus World of Outlaws. What are your thoughts of where that's all going? As a fan, I don't think it's a bad thing what's been going on for the last couple of years. There's more competitors on a national basis now because there are 2 series right now. What are your thoughts about where it's going?
Well, like everybody else, I didn't really know what was going to happen. Anytime a new entity is introduced, it could work out many different ways. But it looks to me now like the landscape will support 2 series, and there's it's pros and cons no matter how you spin it.
Yeah.
I mean, the one positive, I think, is that, regardless of how one feels about World Racing Group and World of Outlaws, a little bit of competition is good for everybody. That's human nature, and that's the way it is. So that's a positive in my mind. It's going to maybe make everybody work harder to make it better for the competitors and fans and promoters, and that's all good. And what we don't know is, financially, how does this continue on? I mean, will there really be enough fans and streaming money and competitors with enough money to make both series, grow and thrive? And we'll just have to see. Time will tell. But the one thing that I don't like about everything is when I see people who feel like they have to choose sides. I'm an Outlaws guy, or I'm a High Limit guy, and then they want to go on the internet and pick fights with anybody who supports the other side. That's no good. I mean, it's no good for us personally. From a mental health standpoint, frankly, it's no good for the sport. That's divisive and tears it down. And I'd really like to see that stuff calm down and everybody kind of look at the big picture and say, sprint car racing's at a pretty good place right now.
Yeah, and I think it from my experience just being out amongst fans, that there are more people that think as I do, that I just want to see some great racing. And I think most of the people I'm around feel the same way, and I think that's probably what we're starting to get right now. I'm more optimistic about that.
Yeah, it's exactly like you said. I mean, in that respect, it's a great thing because there's just more. And now, is there an appetite for more? We'll find out over the long haul, but for now, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, as far as the finances and so forth, franchises, I don't know how any of that's going to work itself out. You just hope it's viable for as many race teams as possible to continue to go out there racing. I think that's just really what we all want, right?
The one thing I would feel strongly about, Kirk, is that, and I'm not arguing against franchises, don't get me wrong, and I don't completely understand how it works. All I know is this, is that almost since the beginning of time, sprint car racing was built on a culture of anybody can build a car that's to the specs, show up at any race, and compete equally for the win. And I hope that we never lose that. I hope that franchises would never dissuade somebody from wanting to go and race with a series. I hope that never happens.
Build their own car. What's your thoughts about that? Building their own car.
Man, I tell you, that's pretty hard to do these days, Scott. What you're up against is an entity like J&J or Maxim that has years and years and years of knowledge and all the different things that they've tried that didn't work. if you're reinventing all of that, you're starting where they started 30, 40, 50 years ago, and it's pretty tough. Those guys, any of the chassis manufacturers today are very, very good. But still, there's going to be somebody who feels that they've got a theory or an idea that can make it work better, and they go for it, man. Get your tubes and get your welder and bender, and you're good to go.
Isn't it a great thing in 2025 that somebody like Shane Liebig from South Dakota with Ryan Timms as his driver can win the Knoxville Nationals? That's the best thing in the world, is it not?
What an amazing night, wasn't it? I mean, that I've been to many nationals, and the electricity as the laps clicked off and that kid was still in front, you could feel it. I mean, we all knew we were seeing something very, very memorable. And I just couldn't be happier all around. It was great for the young man. Timms is what a great racer he's evolving very quickly to be, but also happy for sprint car racing and happy for Knoxville, because these are the kind of things people, when they leave there with a great memory and a great feeling, they want to come back and they want to continue to be a part of it. And that's very important.
Talk about your book a little bit. DaveArgabright.com.
The other books, you've written so many.
Yeah, your website.
Your website.
Yeah, we've had with this website now it's hard for me to believe here. It's 25, 26 years since we wrote Brad Doty's book, DaveArgabright.com. And through the years, lots of different projects, and it's hard to believe that Steve's book was my 19th book. I'm saying that more in disbelief than anything, because I can tell you, I never set out to write 19 books. I just wanted to write my first book, and everything just kind of fell into place each time that a project was possible. And I don't know how many more I want to do, but I've been incredibly blessed that people continue to want to support us and want to read our books. And that's for any author, I think any writer, that the core desire is somebody wants to read your stuff. And doing something like Steve's book and having people be enthusiastic about it, it's just the greatest feeling in the world.
There's so many that stick out in my mind that I've read most. I've not read all of your books, but most of them. But the one about Speedy Bill sticks out, and of course Jack Hewitt. What a character he is in racing.
And I appreciate you saying that, Kirk, and I agree on all counts. And the one thing I love to do, I have to be careful I bore everybody to tears, but there's so many backstories on every one of my books. Earl and Chris Economaki and Brad Doty and Jimmy Sills and all of them, Larry Moore, that I can just, there's so many great stories from behind the scenes on how it came together. It has been tempting to me, honestly, to write a book about the books, and just sort of tell the story on each project and some of the behind the scenes things. And I don't know how it would do commercially, but it would sure be fun to write, because each one of those books I've done, I can tell you, I have just some tremendously good memories of each of those books and the people.
That is Dave Argabright, Hall of Fame author and writer, and a great book on Steve Kinser. You got, this says it all. I wasn't sure we'd ever see a book on Steve Kinser come out.
Right.
Steve is one of these guys that
he's kind of private.
Yeah, he don't brag on himself a whole lot. He just went out there and did his thing, And Dave was able to pull that off, and it's a great book of, I think, the greatest sprint car driver of all time, Steve Kinser, and what he accomplished over his long career.
Where would you rate Doug Wolfgang?
He'd be on the Mount Rushmore up there.
Right.
Well, my 4 Mount Rushmore sprint car drivers are Steve Kinser, Sammy Swindell, Doug Wolfgang, and Donnie Schatz.
Right.
I think those are the 4 guys. What do you think? Would you change any of that?
I would agree with that, Kirk.
Yeah. It's going to be pretty hard to crack that top 4, I think.
Right.
Especially Schatz with his 10 World of Outlaw championships and 11 Knoxville Nationals wins. Going to be pretty hard to top what he's done over the many years. So there you go. Well, Bob Baker is the director of the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. Bob, we put you on right after Dave Argerbright. That's a hard act to follow.
Dave is a great guy, and he is a hard act to follow. He's a great friend.
Yeah, he's, this book on Kinser has just really proven to be one of his better ones, and that's saying a lot because he's written a lot of great books.
He's written great books. He wrote about Brad Doty. He's written about so many people. Chris Economaki, Jimmy Sills. It just goes on and on. But we at the museum, we sell more books than anything else in our museum store. And so far, we've sold over 200 of the Steve Kinser books. So those books are flying off the shelf. If anybody wants one, give us a call up at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame Museum. We just ordered another 200 books, so we'll have plenty for the holidays. And we're really glad to see the book selling so well. And happy for Dave. He's a Hall of Fame, National Sprint Car Hall of Fame inductee, and a great friend of racing.
I'm getting ready to order another of the Steve Kinser books up there, so stay tuned for that. So, yeah, your book selection up there in that gift shop is second to none.
It really is. We have libraries that call us and order books from us, for their libraries and for some of the other places where they sell them. So I don't know how it is. I guess we've got a reputation from the beginning of selling more books, racing, motorsports, sprint car books than anybody else, and we just have our shelves packed with them. And we're very fortunate. We've got that first floor now over at Dennis Albaugh Suite Tower for our inventory, and we can keep much better control of our inventory, having everything in one place instead of in the past we had it spread out over 3 or 4 locations. So it's really been a big help to us to have that bottom floor finished off.
All right, we got to talk about the Corvettes. We got multiple Corvettes. We got a 57 Corvette you're giving away on Christmas Day, and Valentine's Day is another big day. You got some different things going on with the Corvettes this year.
Kurt and Scott, when we started the Corvette sweepstakes, I wasn't sure if we'd have enough money to pay for the first Corvette. Right. It really has turned out to be a blessing for our museum.
Well, let's talk about this 57 Corvette. How can we win that?
The 57 Corvette, all you have to do is go to winacorvette.org, and that enters you to win both the 57 Vet that we're going to give away on Christmas Day and the 2025 Z06, the white Corvette with the red interior. We're going to give that away on Valentine's Day. And a quick story about the 57 Vet. The man we bought it from was the original owner, and he got older, gave it to his son. His son really wasn't interested, so the older gentleman kept it in his garage, and he would take it out on weekends. He didn't think the original engine was performing up to snuff, so he found another period-corrected engine just like it, 283 dual carb engine to put in the Corvette. He put that in, took the old engine out, had the old engine totally restored, and his wife told him, you're getting really old now. You ought to start thinking about selling this. So we were very fortunate that Steve Volk at the Shelby Museum in Boulder, Colorado, knew the gentleman and was able to purchase the Corvette that has the period correct engine in it, and it also the original totally rebuilt engine that was in the car brand new, so matching numbers, VIN numbers and engine numbers, matching on that 57 Vet, which if you're a Corvette or any type of car collector, that's what you want. You want the historic antique car with the engine that matches it. So it's going to be quite a gift for somebody on Christmas. We haven't really told everybody the whole story like I just told you guys, but they're going to get 2 engines, the engine that's in the car and the engine that is the original engine that came in the car with the matching numbers.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible. And if you win that Corvette, you can still win the 2025 Corvette?
Absolutely. You're still entered to win the 2025 Z06, which that is a $136,000 Corvette. It's not a cheap basic Corvette. It's fully loaded. It's convertible. It's got the adrenaline red interior. Both the Corvettes are sitting in our lobby right now, and so we're really excited for the winners to come and pick them up and drive them out of the museum. That's always fun.
So you're giving away the 2025 Corvette early this year, or is there still one in August, or what? Is that a big change?
We decided last year that we would do 2 Corvettes a year. So the white Z06 we're giving away on Valentine's Day. Then we'll have another Corvette that we'll announce after we give that away that we'll give away in August. So we'll do a Corvette every 6 months starting, Valentine's Day.
Wow. That's huge. And so actually you're going to have 3 Corvettes in a year's time.
Yep, we will. The red Corvette, the 57 Corvette, is what we call our Christmas Flash Contest. And if you've followed the Corvette sweepstakes, you know we usually give away like a Corvette Neon Light or a trip to Ron Fellows Racing track to test your Corvette out, racing schools, all sorts of different prizes. Well, the 57 Corvette is definitely the largest and the biggest, most expensive Flash Contest prize that we've ever come up with. And we're real excited about it. It's doing really well. People are real excited. You know, they stop by the museum when they see that little red Corvette in the window and they want to come in and learn more about it. So it's created some interest for the museum and definitely some nice funds to help us keep the museum rolling around.
I might have to take a special trip up to Knoxville just to see that. Wow.
They're both sitting in the front window, so it's quite a sight. I think we've got our Christmas display with the trees and the snow and the presents all around the Corvette, so it looks really nice.
So go to winacorvette.org, is that correct?
Yes, winacorvette.org, and that'll enter you to win both the Corvettes. And right now, when you go there, you get 35% more tickets. And what that means is basically it's $1 a ticket or less to win a Corvette. So it's very affordable. The entry level is $25 for 25 tickets, and it just goes up from there depending on how much you'd like to donate. It's turned out to be one of our museum's largest fundraisers. You know, we have the suites on top of the museum. We have golf tournaments. We have auctions that we do across the country. We'll have an auction coming up at the Chili Bowl on Thursday morning in the grandstands there in turns 3 and 4. So we have an auction coming up there, and you guys have been around the museum enough to know our Knoxville Nationals auction on Saturday is unbelievable. It's really taken off the last 15 years or so. So we're very fortunate that the people support our museum, and we're able to expand and do the things like the Dennis Albaugh Suite Tower and the other things we're working on right now.
And the sprint car giveaway, you do that every 2 years. It's not this December, but a year from now, and you've got that sprint car, and you're selling tickets for that as well, right?
Right. For the sprint car, it's winasprintcar.com, so it's very simple, winasprintcar.com. You go online, you can purchase the tickets, or you can call the museum on either the Corvette or the sprint car to get chances to win the sprint car or the Corvettes. The sprint car is a unique story in that all the builders and manufacturers in sprint car racing build the car for us and supply the parts for the museum. When the museum first started back in 1991, everybody thought that all these people that make parts for the race cars, like the tire manufacturers, the piston manufacturers, the chassis companies, the wing companies, the shock companies, they thought all these companies had lots of money and they would support the museum with financial donations. But when the museum called on them, they said, all we have are shocks and pistons and rods and cams and engine parts. We'll give you some engine parts or some parts for the car, but we can't give you a lot of money. So I came back to the board. This was long before I started in 2008. And the board says, well, if everybody's going to give us parts to build a race car, we should build a race car and give away a race car. And that's how that program started. This is the 16th car we'll give away next December when we give it away. And so the program, we give away a car every other year, has been going on for 32 years. And that's been a big part of not only fundraising to help keep the museum going, but it's also a great program to help us tie in with all the builders and manufacturers of all the parts. For example, J&J Chassis that's supplying the chassis for this year's sprint car, Donat Racing Engines that's supplying the 410 engine for this year's car. Everybody chips in and helps us, and it's a great program.
Bob, that's a great deal. Everybody chipping in.
Yep, it's not all the time that you see everybody, competitors, everybody alike, working together to help one project or one thing. But you see it at the racetrack, like you mentioned earlier, or Bob Douglas mentioned. If somebody has a problem, everybody's there chipping in, trying to get the race car back on the track. And it's the same at the museum. There are so many people that help us with the museum, and whether it's through a donation or parts or something they have around the house they want to donate to the museum for an auction, everybody contributes differently. Do you guys remember Doug Auld from Sprint Car and Racing Magazine?
Yes, I do. Sadly, we miss Doug.
We miss Doug too. I miss Doug. He was a good friend, and he told me he was on our board of directors when I first started. He said, Bob, now don't you be asking me for money or anything, because I don't have a lot of money. He goes, I don't have much I can do to help. And every time we did one of these sprint cars, the sprint car raffle that we give away, he would give us a 2-page fold-out. You guys can probably remember, in the middle of the magazine, you'd open it up, and there'd be a fold-out with a big picture of the sprint car we were giving away that year, and then the story below it of all the people who contributed and how the program works. And so the first time I saw that, I thought, I got to talk to Doug. And so the next time I saw him at a board meeting, I said, listen, Doug, you say you can't contribute, but look at this. And I whipped out Open Wheel, that big 2-page spread with the color picture of the race car we were going to give away and the story underneath it. I said, this is your contribution. I said, we couldn't buy 2 full pages in your magazine, but you donate that to help us. That's your contribution. I said, Doug, everybody that's involved in racing or likes racing or has enjoyed racing, they contribute differently, and this is how you contribute. So don't ever tell me there's nothing you can do, because you do a lot.
Yeah,
and he goes, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, he was the best. So
he was a great guy.
You got some special announcements. We're not too far away from here. We're going to find out who's going to go into the next year's class of the Hall of Fame. You got some other awards that normally come out in the wintertime. So how soon will those announcements be made?
You know, you're right on the money with that, because Dave Argerbright is actually the gentleman who helps us announce those. And we do it on Hall of Fame Friday. It's the Friday before Christmas. So this year we'll be making our 2026 National Sprint Car Hall of Fame inductees announced on Friday, December the 19th. And Dave Argerbright's nice enough to film this and put it all together and put it out on social media, and we just get the word out so much quicker than we ever were able to in the past. But we'll announce the new inductees, which will be inducted on Saturday, May 30th in Knoxville at our National Sprint Car Hall of Fame induction banquet. And then also we will announce our Pole Award winners, and you guys are recipients of I don't know how many 360 Pole Awards for your contributions in media and media members of the year and what you've done to help support sprint car racing. So thank you guys for all those years on the road with ASCS and all the things that you do with your show and the outreach programs that you have. You have had a tremendous impact bringing people into racing and keeping people involved in racing that maybe have fallen away from it for whatever reason, couldn't get to the track, but they can listen to your show. So congratulations for a great run. You guys have done so much for our sport, and you'll never realize what a void it's going to be until you guys are gone. I know you're still going to be around a little bit at the Chili Bowl, and you'll still have, the website presence, but the show every Saturday morning is something that a lot of race fans look forward to, and not just in the Kansas City area. There's people, as you well know, across the country that listen every Saturday morning, so they're going to miss you guys.
Well, we appreciate that, Bob. And, maybe a lot of the younger people don't know is your background before you went to the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. You are the one that made weekly racing at the State Fair Speedway work in Sedalia. And I was around covering stuff back when you did that. It's when we still had the mile track down there. So all of your contributions to racing that maybe a lot of people don't know about, I want to say right now, thank you for all you've done for racing over all these many years.
Well, thank you, Kirk. Thank you, Scott. And, I've been very fortunate. Grew up a race fan in Kansas City, going to Olympic Stadium as a kid, and the old Lakeside over on Leavenworth Road and Riverside Stadium. And who would have thought, as a race fan, that I would ever be working at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa, and have been able to put on car races in Sedalia at the racetracks, where I went to as a youngster with my family to watch the races. And then, lo and behold, Lakeside and I-70 Speedway. I never in my wildest dreams would ever imagine that it would bring me to Knoxville and to the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame to be the executive director. And you guys, we haven't really announced this yet, but we're in the process of buying another small piece of property for parking. It's the old Mr. C's restaurant. It's Mrs. D's now, but there's a new restaurant that's going to be moving in there this next week.
Really?
And so the Hall of Fame's purchased that property because we need the parking. With the new Dennis Albaugh Suite Tower, we promised the city that we would provide parking for the suite holders in the new suite tower. So the restaurant property right across the street from the Rib Shack, we're going to be purchasing that, and that'll be a permanent parking lot for our suite holders. And it'll be great to have that space, especially during the 4 nights of the Knoxville Nationals every year.
Yeah. Yeah, you filled it up this year, that's for sure. Well, that's big news coming out of Knoxville. So, Bob, thank you so very much. Everything that you've done for us. We're not going to be strangers. We'll still be around. And, I always said I grew up at Knoxville, and I'm going to Knoxville till the day I die, unless they say I can't go anymore. That's how I feel about Knoxville.
I feel the same way about Knoxville and about the museum. We're just so fortunate. When other people come into our museum from modified racing or dirt late model racing or motorcycle racing, they go through the museum and they all say the same thing. We wish we had a place like this for our type of racing. So that makes us feel good, and it makes us feel like we're on the right path with the exhibits and what we have going on inside the museum. But it couldn't be possible without your talking about us and letting people know about the museum and the suites and everything that we do, the Corvette sweepstakes, the sprint car sweepstakes. You guys are getting the word out to people, and that's what makes it work.
Hey, is this the night for the Knoxville Raceway Banquet? I was trying to think. Isn't that tonight?
It is tonight for the Knoxville Raceway Banquet. We're getting ready to
Prairie
go to
Meadows
that tonight. Actually, the museum and the racetrack jointly present a Heritage Award every year to someone who goes out of their way to promote both Knoxville Raceway and the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame Museum, not only in Iowa, but across the country. And so we have winners for many years, dating back, I think it's to 1989. Bob Trossel was the first winner of the Heritage Award, and it's been named after Ralph Capitani, so we call it the Ralph Capitani Heritage Award now. But it's always fun to get up there and surprise someone that's in our audience with that award.
And Austin McCarl wins the championship again in the 410 ranks, so congratulations to him.
Austin's doing a great job. I can remember when I started at the museum, him and his brother Carson were young boys in the suite up in Terry McCarl's suite with a set of flags flagging the races from turn 2. So it's great to see them racing, and it's great to see them being so successful in sprint car racing.
Thank you very much, Bob. Appreciate it. We'll stay in touch.
Thank you, Kurt.
Yeah. Love you, man.
You guys have had a great run. Thank you so much. We congratulate you on your many years of racing boys, and we want to wish you the best moving forward.
Happy holidays to you.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas and Happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
All right, there he is, Bob Baker,
Thanks,
director
Bob.
of the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame Museum. Boy, you can't meet a nicer guy than that.
He's the nicest guy ever.
Yes, sir.
Bob Baker.
We got another guy on the phone.
He used to run Lakeside Speedway.
Well, he ran, I remember when I-70 went back to pavement from dirt. He was kind of running that show back then. He ran Lakeside Speedway for a while.
Right.
But there's nobody that's run the State Fair Speedway in Sedalia better than Bob Baker did.
Nobody.
So it was great to have him on. Who we got on there now? We got Blake?
We got Adam.
Adam.
Blake Hahn is coming up here in a little bit.
That's right.
Adam, what do you say?
How you doing, man?
Good. How are you guys this morning?
You're part of our team before you moved to Wisconsin.
Short-lived. Sorry, my phone's delayed, I think. Go ahead, Kirk.
You moved to Wisconsin, then you were no longer on our team, but you're still a member of our team. We just don't see you as often.
I'm there with you guys. I watch on Saturday mornings when I can.
Adam Bartling, we're talking about. Man, we had a good time when you were here in Kansas City. So how's things been going with you?
Pretty good. We're busy doing the family life, and the boys are sprouting up like weeds. It's going pretty fast.
Todd
it's
showed me a
amazing.
couple of pictures there. They have really grown.
They're big time, yeah. And you guys probably haven't even, you never met Eli.
No.
I don't even know if you met Salem.
No.
Well, we got 3 of them now. I know Carter has been to that studio a couple times, but yeah.
Yeah, he played the drums while he was here.
He did, didn't he? Yeah, he sure did.
You
he was a big drummer when he was like 3.
Yeah, you just had the second one when we met him. We met him, but he wasn't able to do anything yet. He was tiny. Yeah. So it's really cool to see some of the stuff that you guys got going on up there, man. I know you've been playing music, man. I pretty impressive, dude, seeing you go out there and play live out there and about all where you were up there at, man. Tell everybody about kind of what you're doing up there, man.
Yeah, well, right now I'm just kind of writing and trying to reestablish my brand, musically. I don't have my band or anything anymore, so I'm just kind of trying to do it on my own and everything. And I was going to say, though, I hear you guys playing my music on your show still. I'm, like, so grateful for that. It's so awesome.
Absolutely.
To do that. I know. Just want to thank you for that.
You do a great job, and that's great stuff you're putting out.
Right.
We're looking at a little video that you put together of all three of your kids, and that's pretty cool, man.
Boy, they're musicians too, huh? They're
our youngest, he's screaming. He takes the markers and he's air drumming and screaming as loud as there we go.
They can fire up a band right now.
Look at him singing the national anthem right there. We actually had that. We recorded that and we sent it off to my hometown radio station. They played it there for my grandma when she was in the nursing home out there. So that was pretty cool.
Wow.
So next Saturday, I've been working on this little they asked me to make this little football video of them. So I kind of went all out and we just pretended we did the Super Bowl. And I produced this whole little video, and I'm going to release it next Saturday. It's going to have them singing in it. We did some commercials, and we did all the voiceovers and everything. So I'm excited to share that. I know they're excited about it, too. It's a ton of work. It took like 8 months to do. But
wow.
Cool.
Well, man, we always appreciate everything you did. Like you said, when we moved into this studio over here and got the new mixer and stuff.
You helped us get this thing all wired up, man.
We relied a whole lot on you knocking this thing out, and like you said, me personally, I appreciate everything, and like I said, the way you popped into our lives. Scott was trying to get some work done at the old studio, and I remember the conversation went kind of like Scott Traylor said, well, I got this studio down in the basement, and I need something done. And Adam said, you don't know how many times I've heard somebody say, I've got a studio. And then when they go down in that basement, it's a microphone and a chair.
Right.
And Adam walks into the basement over there at the place, and he's seen basically the 810 set, which you still see right here. And he says, hell, you guys do have a studio over here. So you wasn't much long after that, then Scott hired you. So like you said, that was
that's how we met. You coming in with Comcast and installing some services, weren't you?
Yep, and I started talking with Scott, and just like what Todd said, that's exactly how that conversation went. And then Scott said something like, "Hey, you just want to come? We do the show on Saturday mornings. You want to come in and check it out?" I was like, "Absolutely, I'd love to." So I did, and again, I was a little skeptical still, but then I went in and we did the show, and I was like, okay, this is amazing. And then Scott, like you said, he hired me, and then I was like, how? I don't even understand that there's a world for racing like this. I've never been involved in anything like that before. And
I remember Adam saying, I don't understand how this is even a thing. Like, I don't understand how the people he had no idea how big it was. And then when we took you down to the Chili Bowl the first time, I remember the look in your eyes, when we were down there the first time you walked in and seen that Chili Bowl experience, that was something else too.
That really was like overwhelming, to be honest. I was just like, okay, it was like I said, it was like a different world that I didn't even know existed. I'm like, is this the same planet?
So what do you got going on right now, Adam?
What do you mean?
What are you doing for? Are you transitioning more into the music business? Are you still working in the cable industry?
I'm still an Xfinity technician, just grinding it out every day.
He's still the cable guy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But outside that, though, I am working on. I have years and years of stuff that has been like online, just like scattered all over the place, and I'm trying to just get it all combined into one. And I'm start advertising my music business, or my recording and stuff, and I'm adding some other services and stuff like that. But
we got a great picture of you. We got a great picture of you up there in front of your keyboards.
Yep, that's kind of my little setup down in the basement. I will say though too, like working with you guys is really inspiring for me too. Like I think about you guys a lot when I'm doing stuff. So I don't know. You guys have just played a big role in my life, and I was with you for, I think it was 5 years, and it was a pretty amazing time. Really, I loved it. I missed doing it. So I just want to say thanks for letting me be a part of it. And you guys have done it 27 years. I think you said Scott's been doing it. So I was thinking about that. Right. I was 12 when it started.
I think about you whenever I see Nebraska play football. You're the biggest Cornhusker fan I know.
I think about you too, Kirk, and I was always thinking about messaging. I mean, we got a little better year this year. So.
Yeah. Who they playing today?
I watched them today. Penn State.
Penn State. I think they win.
sir.
I think Nebraska wins that game. You're hoping.
I hope so.
You're
I hope
hoping.
so.
Then Iowa coming
Yep.
up, right?
Next week, Iowa. Yep.
Adam, it's so great to hear from you. We'll stay in touch. You know, it's a great thing about the internet and Facebook and so forth. You can still stay connected even though you're not living in Kansas City anymore. It's great to see all the photos and see your family, and really appreciate all you did for us. And thank you for calling in this morning.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and good luck going forward. And I'll stay in touch for sure.
All right, you take care.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Adam Bartley. Yeah, he's a pretty special guy, isn't he?
He's a talent like a lot
Yeah.
of people don't realize.
He's the most talented guy I know.
Yeah, I mean, he's a drummer, but most drummers don't play guitar the way that he plays guitar, and most drummers don't play keyboards and bass the way that he can. So I don't consider him a drummer. I consider him a musician and in sound recording engineer. You know, I mean, the way he's able to, he owns his, you know, this In Loving Memory thing he's got going on, you know, right now, which is, you know, kind of what he's doing all of his stuff under now. There's a lot of stuff, and like I said, I watched him play live. You know, he goes, Scott, and sets up in a park, sets up an acoustic guitar with a speaker, and sets down and just starts singing and playing. And that takes some.
He's got a Racing Boy sticker.
He does have his Racing Boy sticker right there on his file cabinet there. So we appreciate Adam. Like you said, it was fun to hear from him, and he checks in every once in a while with me, asks me how everything's going, asks how Kurt and Scott are doing. So we appreciate Adam Bartley and his whole family. It was kind of cool checking in. He's got almost a band now, right, Kirk? Looks like
he's got a band already there in the family.
I think probably in 3 more years he will be putting out music with that band. Probably.
Well, we're going to get Blake Hahn on the horn here before we go. He is the 2021 and 2022 ASCS National Tour champion, a 3-time champion of the Short Track Nationals. Finished 3rd in the most recent standings of the ASCS National Tour. Won Friday night's portion of the Fuzzies Fall Fling, and we wanted to have Blake as our last guest on the show, so we'll get him on the horn here a little bit before we go. And man, this show's gone fast, hasn't it, Scott?
It has.
So we'll be back in January. We'll do a pre-race show for the Chili Bowl. We'll do a wrap-up then, and we'll fire it up every now and then. Mostly motorsports. We're not shutting that down completely. We're just taking a little bit of a break here for a couple of months, and we'll be around during the Chili Bowl time, and then we'll see what goes on during 2026. We'll keep the website up and going. We're not going to stop updating that, and you can go there to see the video archives of everything that we've done down through the years. It's all part of, we've got a small fee for a subscription to have access to that. Just kind of helps pay the bills. So we'll continue to do that. Can't get a hold of Blake?
It went to voicemail. Let me text him real quick and see if it'll.
So we'll try to get Blake. I told him somewhere around 9:45, so we're a little bit late. So we'll try to get Blake on the horn here. But it's been a hell of a ride, man. A lot of memories. We did a lot of things. You know, the biggest thing we probably did was be a part of the Chili Bowl all those many years.
Right.
8 years of doing live audio, and then we transitioned into live video.
Right.
Did that for 8 years, 16 years total covering the Chili Bowl. You were out on the road covering the ASCS National Tour. We did a lot of other events, live streaming, for about 10 years. I remember the first time we fired it up, it was at Tucson, Arizona for the Western World Championship.
Right.
That's kind of seemed like an odd place to fire up our live streaming, but that's where we started, was Tucson, Arizona back in
What was the name of that track?
2013.
What was the name of that track?
USA Raceway.
USA Raceway. It's right across the street from the Air Force.
Yeah. Remember, it snowed down there that week.
And I just
in
remember
Tucson, Arizona.
The Air Force doing their practice runs while
2
we were.
inches of snow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Blake Hahn probably remembers that.
Blake remembers that. We got Blake on the line.
Yeah. Hey, Blake, how you doing? Thanks for checking in with us.
Good, fellas. How are y'all today?
We're doing. Do you remember when it snowed in Tucson, Arizona?
I didn't get to go down there. I think that was probably 2012, if I remember correctly. I think that was the year Brandon was on the tour. That was 1 year before I got to go have fun with you boys.
That was the year before you came out. Okay. Man,
Yep.
it's been we appreciate you checking in. We're as you know, we told you guys it was great to see you last weekend down at Creek County Speedway. We came to your hometown. How about that? We had a good time.
Yeah, it was good seeing you boys down here. Yeah, it was a good weekend, man. The weather was beautiful for racing. I mean, typically in the middle of November, you're not exactly sure what we're going to get. But, man, it just turned out to be a spectacular weekend of racing. And then we had good car count and good crowd on top of it. So it was a great weekend for all of us.
That was a spectacular crowd. I didn't see many empty seats at all at Creek County Speedway.
No, if everybody's ready to get their racing fix at the end of the year, they knew we had some good sprint cars, so they definitely made the trip out.
All right, let's talk about it. You won Friday night. Man, that was exciting the way you pulled that off. Taking the lead there on the last lap to win that race. But on Saturday night, the track was just a little bit different, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely didn't have near as much moisture Saturday, which I think is probably a good thing. But, yeah, Friday night was pretty fun. The track was fairly narrow towards the beginning of the night, and then kind of started moving around in only the last 10 laps of the A feature, and that was the only way we were able to start getting some good momentum to catch Zach there. And, yeah, I had a caution with a few laps to go and was able to get the top rolled in, and thanks to Dalton, he was like, man, just run the top one lap. He jumped out on the track and was pointing to the top one lap, so had a green and white checkered restart, so I just bumped the wing back a hair and just made sure to hit my marks on the top, and thankfully we were able to sneak by Zach and get back to the bottom and protect the win. And that was a pretty good start for the weekend. We were excited, and we followed it up Saturday with a pretty good heat race run and was able to make it into the dash. And we ended up getting to the lead Saturday throughout the A feature, and the track was changing a lot. Got to some lap traffic. I made a few of the wrong decisions and ended up dropping back to second or third early, or about the midway point, and ended up running sixth on that deal. But not the best way we wanted to finish the year, but we had really good speed, so it was a fun weekend for us.
Man, that's that was a challenging racetrack. What, about 10 laps in, you guys stopped for fuel, but there was a lot of yellow flags during the race. You tried the bottom of the racetrack. Zach Dahm was able to make it work. Did you make any changes during that red flag stop?
No, we were fairly good at that point. We had, I think the open red for fuel was 10 laps in, so really we had a whole nother race to go with 30 laps left. So I felt pretty good with how the car was, but the track changed drastically at that point. The top was pretty good, but it started to really ledge up. It got really slick to a massive curb, and you really had to tiptoe up to it. And we were a tick too tight to be up on the curb, and I just couldn't get the bottom really rolling in before Zach snuck by us. So, the top just got a little too treacherous towards the end of that thing, and we kind of migrated back towards the bottom, and I just didn't catch it at the right time.
It was a fascinating race to watch because anybody who tried to predict what was going to happen, I mean, it was, from the driver's seat, I bet you didn't look at it the same way we fans did, but it was pretty intense out there. It had to be as a driver too, didn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And, that's one of the best things about Creek County is you could be sitting in fifth, and next thing you know, you look up and you're battling for the lead. So anything can happen, and it happens quickly there. Just the racing, just with the top guys, anything can happen. And then you throw in some lap traffic with such a small track. I mean, really, I think it only takes us about 6 or 7 laps to get to the back of the field and start dicing through them. So that adds in a whole nother deal. And I think that's why Creek County is so special, a lot of tracks you kind of get spread out, and then they can start picking through the single car traffic. Well, when you get to traffic here, they're typically too wide in front of you, so you have to make some good decisions. And it's definitely a place where you can either win the race or lose the race.
Hey, you always wear your Racing Boys fire suit.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Absolutely, especially for our hometown weekend. You know, I told you we had our lucky suit on Friday night, and we were able to pick up the win. So that was a good one. That suit's brought me a lot of luck, and that's something I want to thank you guys for, is for just supporting me over the last, really nearly the last 6 years now, I think. So it's been great to be able to support you guys and to throw up your guys' logo on our suit and just spread the word. I think I don't know if everybody realizes it, but you guys were the ones that gave ASCS, these guys, the first chance to be able to, race in front of IETS. And with you guys doing your broadcasting back then, it really it helped us racers, the ASCS guys, to, even have our sponsors watching every night and just help get our names out there. So thankfully, we had you guys early on to get us out there and help out like you guys did.
Well, we appreciate that. And it seems like ASCS has really come back here over the last couple of years. The car counts, the star drivers that are in the series now, it seems like it's pretty good shape right now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it would be hard to argue that it's not in the best shape it's been in with WRG. Their goals that they have in mind, obviously they've got good goals with knowing what they need to do with the Outlaws, and like you said, having the star power like Covington and Sam and Jason and all these guys, and then you throw in a bunch of young heavy hitters that have got a really good up and coming name for themselves, like Garrett Benson and Brogan Carter and LaPlante and Baker. So we've got a good group of guys. And another thing is, we have a really fun group of guys to race with. When you get to run 40, 50 races with the same 15 guys, it really makes a big difference if it's a good group of guys to race with. And, being able to travel up and down the road with these guys and go race every weekend and be able to race competitively and hard and know we're not going to be tearing our stuff up. That's one thing I really enjoyed about this year was being able to race with Matt and Sam and, try to win a championship against those guys and truthfully race as hard as you ever race against them and not have to worry about them driving through you. And that makes it fun when you can have good races like that with good drivers.
You had a second car out there. We saw it out there last Saturday night. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's not my car actually, but my little cousin Hayden Mabe has been racing. He's got an ASCS car now, and he bought my old race car from last year, and he turned it into a 305 car, and then now he's got him an ASCS car that he's tinkering with and running a little bit here and there. And yeah, he ends up buying my old wings and just leaves the graphics on there, leaves the numbers on there, and gets back at it.
Yeah, it's
he looked pretty good.
Yeah, he's learning.
Yeah, and he's only got a handful of races in the 360 car too, so it's been a big learning curve for him. But he's been having fun. He got a little taste of the national tour this last weekend at Creek. He came to Tulsa a couple weeks ago and was able to make his first national race, and he was really happy with that. And then came to Creek, and obviously, racing's up and down. You never have the same luck you always have, and wasn't able to make the A feature this weekend, and really got down on himself. But I told him, I spent many a times watching an A feature on top of my trailer at a national event when I started racing with these guys. So you just gotta take it as a learning experience and just keep on moving and try to learn from that.
All right, we're not too far away from racing indoors. Tulsa Shootout, Chili Bowl coming up. You already starting to gear up for that?
Absolutely, yeah. We've got some really good news in the works for Chili Bowl. We've got an awesome sponsor on board for this year, somebody new to the racing scene. Well, not new to the racing scene, new to the Chili Bowl scene. So it'll be really cool to showcase them this year. It's a really cool local sponsor, so we're really excited about that. Anytime we can keep it local here in Tulsa, it makes it fun. And yeah, we're working on our graphic stuff, getting a new suit ready, and then they'll be putting dirt in the building before we know it. So,
can you say who that sponsor is yet?
Yeah, York Plumbing out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. They've supported Creek County for many years. The family raced out there, and just a good group of people, a good family, and we're just thankful to have them on board. And we look to hopefully to grow from that and continue to partner with them, maybe on our sprint car stuff, and just help them get some exposure, and then hopefully put them in the A feature on Saturday.
So you're going to keep the same plan going for 2026 as far as your sprint cars?
Yeah, we haven't really decided yet. We're kind of up in the air. We want to see what the schedule looks like, see exactly what we kind of have on tap. I know there's going to be a lot of 410 races around here again this year, and we definitely want to make sure to hit those races when they're close to home. So we'll see what we got, kind of play it by ear. So imagine by Chili Bowl time, we'll have probably a little better idea of what we're going to do.
So Tulsa shoot, how many classes are you going to run in the shootout?
Just 2 this year. We'll just run the outlaw classes, just the non-wing outlaw and the outlaw.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture right now. The grizzly bear in Montana. I forgot you were one of the winners when the grizzly bear was in Victory Lane. That had to be the most. You didn't look nervous in that photo there, but I know we've talked to a lot of other drivers that were very nervous in Victory Lane. You look about as calm as any of them in that Victory Lane.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. That's probably one of the coolest Victory Lane photos I've ever got to be a part of. Yeah, they did a really good job up there for promotion wise for the Grizzly Nationals. I think I don't think you could pick out any other race where you get to stand next to a grizzly bear if you win. So they do it right up there in Belgrade, Montana, and it's a really fun track. The crowd up there is fantastic, and that makes it even more enjoyable. But yeah, we were able to pick up the win that night and pull up on the front straightaway, and they start putting up the electric fence around your race car, and they dive in the cockpit and hand me a release form to sign with standing by the bear. So that kind of made me question exactly what I was going to do when I jumped out there, and I had to sign a release form to stand by the bear. But it was really cool just to be able to be that close to something like that, and I was actually able to feed him too that night. So it was a really good experience for me, and that's something I'll look back on forever and think about, wow, that's just crazy to think that racing can give us opportunities like that.
I don't think I'd ever heard that. You had to sign a release form to be by the bear?
Yeah. Before you even jump out of the car, they're in there with a clipboard.
That is incredible. Well, we enjoyed watching you win at Lakeside Speedway here a few weeks back. That was pretty cool here locally. So that and Batesville was your other victory this year. So third place in the point standings. So, it was a pretty solid year for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not bad. Obviously, we were gunning for that championship again, coming back this year, wanting to show these boys what we've got. But just a few bad runs. We had a little month stretch there where we had a couple issues on parts that were breaking on the car. We ended up having a couple DNFs and a couple of nights where we hurt a chassis and weren't able to finish. So just a handful of bad nights is all it takes to be able to lose a championship. And unfortunately, that's what it was this year. So. We had a bunch of good runs. We had a bunch of consistent runs, a bunch of top fives, which is, really our main goal is just to be consistently up there. But with those handful of DNFs, that's all it takes. And we had a good year, pick up a few wins, and I feel like we had some really good races with Sam. And obviously, anytime you can battle hard with Sam, you're doing something right. So, congratulations again to Sam for another great year for him. At the banquet is one of those deals where you can sit there and go, man. Thankfully, we get to race with Sam. There's a lot of competitors in the 360s, and we get to race with the best one every week. And, he pushes us to be better, and, we continue to grow our program and to shape our program and to, as me as a driver, to, get better and sculpt myself into the best driver I can be. And it's just really fun to be able to race with him and have him pushing us and continuing to grow.
Hey, Sam is a pretty good driver, isn't he?
Absolutely, man. Anytime you can win a championship, it means a lot. But then when you start stacking them on top of each other, it just speaks for itself. The way he carries himself, it's definitely how a champion carries themselves. And I've been hanging out with some of the younger kids, trying to help them out a little bit, like I got helped when I got on the tour. And I tell them to definitely keep an eye on what Sam's doing. He's got it figured out.
Well, we had a great time being at Creek County Speedway last Saturday night, honoring your grandmother, and saw your grandfather down there and talked to a lot of old friends down there. It was pretty cool that the Fuzzies Fall Fling has turned into a major big-time event, and glad you were able to at least join in on part of the victory celebration down there.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you guys for coming and supporting our event, and we look forward to seeing it grow in the years to come. We want to give the fans a good experience. So I think next year we'll see a little more stuff to entice the fans, keep them entertained, and just make it a good, fun weekend for everybody.
Absolutely, Blake. Thanks so much. You have a great weekend. We'll see you down in Tulsa.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And again, thank you all for everything you all have done for me over the past few years. And I appreciate you guys' partnership, and hopefully we can continue to keep something going. And we look forward to seeing you guys down in Tulsa.
You'll always be our favorite driver. That's it.
Thank you, guys.
Right.
Appreciate
Thanks,
y'all.
Thanks, Blake. You bet. Take care. Blake Hahn, how about that? We had to make Blake our last guest on the show.
Right.
I was going to pull this other photo up from down there at the Chili Bowl. It's got a few more characters in it.
I see Dean Mills sitting there.
Jeff Christensen. We got one
Caleb
of the
Hart.
One of the Hans.
We see Heather Stassa.
Yep.
We see Clinton Boyles.
Brandon's in there.
Jeff Christensen.
Clinton Boyles.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
And we're going to leave some names out.
Hey,
those are
Heather just sent me a nice message the other day talking about.
I got one from her too.
Yep, she commented on the text line, or on the chat room today, and
appreciate her.
Like you said, we appreciate everybody that over the years has been part of this. There's me and Scott.
Man, you look a lot younger there, Todd.
I look young, don't I?
Right.
That's us on top of the roof of the. Me and Scott were fixing something on the
top of the box
announce booth right there, and so I was standing over on the one side, and I thought, you know what, we're probably not going to be standing up on a booth like this anytime soon.
You look young there, Todd.
That's one of the first years down there, I think, man. I think that was, and there's our concert we went to at the Knuckleheads not too long ago.
Richie Kotzen.
Yes, sir.
That hasn't been that long ago.
Yeah, not too long ago at all.
This at Knuckleheads.
Knuckleheads. There's the whole
John Force
and Robert Height out there.
Now that is a picture right there.
That was back when I still had some weight on me before I started getting thin.
Right. That's out in front of the place at Powhatan, wasn't
it? It was.
Now this is
how about this? That's at the top of the Expo Center too. And me and Scott,
Yep.
we're trying to talk to Roger on the telephone, and we're trying to get dialed in with our amplifier box or with our camera. We're hooking up all these cameras, and we can't get Roger. He can't see us.
Roger has to.
So we call Roger on the phone and say, "Can you hear us? Can you hear us?"
Roger has.
And this was over at the old studio, at the 810 studio.
The old 810 studios.
And David Grubnick came into the studio, and
everybody had their own office over there.
Yeah, so I had an office, and I had, if you see there, I got my Van Halen pictures in the back. I had my guitars in there, and David came in with his handler, and she said, "Oh crap, you've got a guitar in here." He's never going to want to leave. So he came in and started playing guitar, and we hung out and played music for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes before you guys showed up and hung out and did it. And there's old, I think that's Brittany at the
Courtney
at the old 810 back when I was still rocking the long hair. She said, "You have longer hair than I do." And I said, well,
maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
There's an old picture of Scott and Scotty with interviewing
Sammy.
Or no, Kevin Swindell.
Kevin Swindell.
2013.
His the fourth of the 4 years that he won the
That's
Chili
right.
Bowl.
And this is when we had the race. This is the year before I started with the Race Boys the last year Kevin Swindell won the thing. We were still doing audio, and we just started the video stuff. But that was the first year I was there, and then Brian Clausen was the first year.
We did the video.
We did the video, and I was in the infield for that there. So
there's Blake and
and there's
Leslie. We've seen a couple of these pictures.
Yeah, I'm just kind of go through some of these before we wrap this.
Hey, let's roll back to that one there with Sharon and Tori and Tristan and Scott and Carl, and that's the picture right there.
Right.
That is the photo.
I still got the belt.
It's still over here on the pool table.
Right.
Still got the mustache. So it's all good.
Carl drove all night from Texas Motor Speedway to race in that event because he always wanted to race at I-70 Speedway.
And I give him his first shot.
Yeah, it didn't go smoothly though. There was an incident or two before he got there.
He knocked out Nate Bennell.
Yeah, that didn't go so good, did it? Well, he didn't tear up your truck, so it. But I I can't remember anybody pounding around I-70 Speedway faster than Carl did that day. He had it flying, man.
There's a picture when we first moved in. See how clean everything looks still? And the cables are all tidied and everything's straight. And now it looks like we've been partying in here.
Right.
So it's been a pretty good studio over here.
That was 5 years ago?
Yeah, it's 5 years ago when I snapped that picture behind the... We were getting ready to fire up the Track Talk for
Kirk, you're all by yourself.
Yep. But you just walked out of the room. I see the chairs turn. That means you'd stepped out.
Same chairs.
Yeah, everything's same. Not much to change. Position in a few things, but
some of this equipment still works. Can you believe it?
Still working. It's going to continue to work. We're going to.
That was only 5 years ago, though.
Yeah. There's our buddy.
Now this is down in the media room at the Chili Bowl.
That's right. Miss old Craig Jensen, old Kragers. He was a good kid, man. Good guy. Always enjoyed hanging out.
Is that Chris Crone?
Chris Crone and Craig. They're what you're seeing. This picture is
courtesy of High Flying Photos.
That's right.
John Lee.
John Lee took this. So
John Lee. By the way, I got to mention John Lee. He provided photos for our website for a lot of years.
Yes, sir.
He's still out there doing it.
Absolutely. He had a very nice thing to say on our post the other day too, and mentioning just that same thing that. He appreciates everything we've done, and for him and his family posting all of our photos. So, yeah. So in this photo, what's going on is these guys are dumping photos. So I used to have to take the memory card and dump all their videos at the end of the day onto my hard drive. So each one of these guys would be walking up, and Craig's got in his hand, his left hand, he's got an SD card in his hand. He's getting ready to hand those cards to me so I can dump all because we used to do all those races and we put them all on our hard drive so those guys could record that again the next day. So,
there's one other guy that I got to mention that we haven't talked about, Bob Duselier.
Bob Duselier.
Bob, he did a lot of stuff just before you came along, Todd. But Bob had worked at Sports Radio 810 and he kind of helped us out.
He did.
And, I haven't spoken with Bob for a while, but
I haven't either.
He was a big part of what we did, and of course Scotty Cook. We can't leave this show without talking about Scotty.
Yeah, I'd like to.
I think we'll have Scotty on one of our Chili Bowl shows.
Yeah, he'll be on the Chili Bowl
January. So.
Yeah, I'd like to personally thank Scotty. He kind of took me under his wing there when I'd never been on the infield of a sprint car race before. I'd been at Lakeside and. With as Scotty would say, with
smug look.
So he'd never. He asked me, "Have you ever been on the infield of a sprint car race?" And I said no. And he says, "I need you to stand right behind me. I need you to have your head on a swivel, and I don't ever want you to take your eyes off the leaders of the pack on this thing." And so I learned, from one of the best, Scotty Cook, and as well as I do, Scott Traylor would send Scotty Cook out there to interview these drivers as they were still unbuckling their equipment from flipping their stuff off all into the corner, and Scotty would take off running. Well, I would run. In the old days, it was just an audio. Well, once we went to video, I would run after Scotty with that camera, and like you said, I had my finger in his belt buckle and run because I did not want to get. I did not want. So I appreciate Scotty Cook.
That is a scary place to be. The infield of the Chili Bowl.
It's a scary, scary place, and so, like you said. I appreciate Scotty and Scott and Kirk for everything, dude. Like you said, you guys kind of showed me the ropes in this business, and Scott showed me everything I needed to know from, everything from day one. When he brought me in over there, he said, "Here's the button to do this. Here's the button to do that." And Kirk fired it up, and Scott said, "Are you going to let him try this by his own?" He goes, "You might as well. There ain't much you can do wrong." And off we went. So that was 12 years ago. And like I said, Scott and Kirk, I appreciate everything you guys done, and me and my wife and my kids have always been proud to say I work with the Racing Boys. So I continue to fly the flag next year, and hopefully we'll have some pretty good podcasts going in. We did 386 podcasts so far. If you guys want to download, listen to any of our podcasts, go to wherever you get your favorite podcast, download that, and make sure you subscribe. That way when we fire this bad boy up next year, you'll get a notification. And you won't have to look for it. You'll get a little notification saying, "Hey, there's a new podcast ready to roll." And that'll be the way to do it. January.
Speaking of subscribe, if you're not already a Flow Racing subscriber, you want to be that because they done a great job of doing the shootout and the Chili Bowl. And they've got USAC races this weekend. They've got the Snowball Derby coming up and the Gateway Dirt Nationals.
Right.
And, of course, Flow Racing, they still do a lot of things that we did back in the day. Flow, Caleb Hart still doing a lot of the announcing on there. And And Brian Ward
Caleb
did
Hart.
a great job with the pit reporting for the ASCS series on Dirt Vision this year. And
Marie says, bye, my friends. Love you.
Marie's been a good guest.
We
A
love
good,
you, Marie.
Good supporter.
Thank you.
We
You're
appreciate
one
it.
of our great
supporters.
And to everybody that has tuned in to this show over the last 27 years, 25 for me, almost 14 years for Todd. We really appreciate you being here.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, and all the people. It's weird, Scott told me this when I first started working with him. He's like, "You're going to start. It won't be like a famous thing where people are going, 'Hey, you're that guy,' but people will recognize your voice." Man, I've been in places sometimes, and somebody's like, "Man, I've heard," and I'm like, "Yeah, Racing Boys." And he's like, "Yeah, we've been on that." Like you said, Kirk, Scott, I appreciate everything. I wouldn't have been able to do any of this. I've met a lot of really cool and interviewed some really cool people out here, Kansas Speedway, and in all of our travelings up and down the road. And a lot of those photos you see on my Facebook page, me hanging out with somebody, that's because of the Racing Boys. I'm hanging out with those guys, so I appreciate it.
Well, we're still going to stay connected, Todd. We're friends for life.
Absolutely. We're family. We're not
going to be around.
We're family.
So,
nobody's going nowhere. We're just
Todd and I. We're brother. We're almost brother. Scott's my brother.
Yeah,
Scott, you're my brother.
Right.
I look at Scott and Kirk as Kirk reminds me of an uncle, and Scott reminds me of an older cousin. I don't have an older brother, so I wouldn't know what it'd be like to call an older brother. But Scott, I had a couple cousins that were around Scott's age, and when I came over here and worked with you guys, that's kind of how it felt, man. I kind of felt hanging out with my family out and just kind of shooting the bull, So, and I'll also want to say one thing. I made it through 12 years without dropping one F or S bomb on terrestrial radio. And if all my friends would talk to you, they would never believe that I would be able to not drop a swear word.
I don't remember you doing that.
I didn't. I said one time during the break, I said something bad and didn't know my mic was up. But yes, sir. It's been fun, guys.
Scott Traylor, I'm going to let you wrap it up. Go for it, man. It's been fun.
It's been a lot of fun. Kirk, you're my brother. Do you know that?
I know that. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be around.
All right. Track Talk is brought to you by Rod End Supply, featured the POWRi Midwest Lightning Sprints. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Go harder, faster, stronger with Rod End Supply. Whether you are running industrial, farming equipment, or a race car, Rod End Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you lead the field in performance. Our superior design means our rod ends last longer and perform better, giving you the edge on the track and saving you money. Contact Rod End Supply or order online today at rodendsupply.com. We don't just sell them, we race them. rodendsupply.com. Serving the racing community for over 30 years.